I have Samuel here from Abuja. Samuel, you're very much welcome. So excited to have you here. I have AJ from Port Harcourt City. AJ from Port Harcourt, how are you and how is Port Harcourt this evening? I have Abiola from Abuja. I have, who else do I have? Who else do I have? Who else do I have? Oh, AJ, you said it's your first time. You're welcome. Please, where are my ushers? Please give him the VIP welcomes. We celebrate you, AJ. Thank you for joining us. I want to assure you that you are in for an amazing time. You are in for a great time. In fact, this is your first. I know it definitely will not be your last because you will keep coming back. I can assure you. Okay, we have Follow Show from Abuja. You're welcome, sir. So good to have you. We have, okay, we have one of our speakers. We have our speakers in the house already. Hey, see, guys, this is a pace setter kind of example they are showing us. They are showing us that even though they are the speakers for the evening, they are already here. In fact, let me tell you something. They've been here even before, way before the meeting started. And really, I just want to celebrate you, Mrs. Toluwani. Thank you so much. We're glad to have you. Greetings from Ireland. Yes. How is Ireland today, Ma? Welcome. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, Samuel is saying welcome to you, AJ. We're very warm people in R.E.A.D. And so we're welcoming you to the R.E.A.D platform. I'm sure you saw the video, but we'll be playing that again so that you get to know us in the R.E.A.D community. We're very warm people. We're people that celebrate value and we give value. Everything we do is marked by value. And you'll be finding that out today as we go on this journey. Yes, thank you. Okay, so good to be here. Yes, we're excited to have you here, Ma. So I want to say welcome to our mid-month webinar. It's going to be a great time. We have our speakers. I'm sure you've seen the flyers. It's going to be a boom, boom, boom time for you, really. I just want you to get your hearts ready, get yourself ready, get your writing notes, get your pen, get everything that will make you comfortable, because I can assure you that once you start, you will not be able to stand up from your seats. I'm saying this from experience. I've been coming back again and again. I'm a member of this group and I love being here. So yes, thank you. Who else is here? I see some other people in the room. Evelyn, you're welcome. Mary, Ubeya, you're welcome. That's my personal person. So Mary, you're welcome. Okpayemi, you're welcome. Prof. Ogaji, another of our speakers in the house, you're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for coming to speak on the platform. We really appreciate you. Okay, I've welcomed Peju Durojaye. You are welcome. So good to have you in the house this evening. Yes, Mary, I see you. So good to have you all. You're welcome. We're expecting a lot of other people to join us. And I want to say hello to our Facebook community. If you're joining us on Facebook, we're saying hello to you here. Please stay tuned and stay with us tonight. We'll be cruising at a very high speed tonight. You can see 4 speakers. That's going to be a mind-blowing one for you. So I just want you to prepare your mind. See, let your heart be here. Prepare yourself for everything you're going to be getting tonight. Our topic is gaining global relevance. And I was thinking about it. I was like, why want to be a local champion when you can be a global one? See, the world has gone global and we cannot stay local. So please, I beg you, give your all into this meeting from the beginning to the end. Please let me know you're excited to be here. I'm not seeing people that are excited to be here in the chat. I like the chat buzzing visually, and I want to encourage us that even when the speakers are speaking, please let the chat room be buzzing. There's a way it encourages the speaker to be able to give it to you hot. Yes, Serena is giving it to me. Please, I want to see more. Give me your icon that shows that you're excited to be here before we just close this meeting tonight and say we're not doing it again. Oh, Mr. Ifedaya, we can see your face. Thank you for turning on your video. If you can turn on your video, please go ahead and do that. That's one of the ways to give your attention to a meeting. Please, we can turn on your video. Please do that. I'm waiting for more people in the chat room to show me how excited. Yes, our speakers' videos are on. I hope you can see their beautiful faces. So good to see you, Ma. Mrs. Toluwani, I celebrate you. Mrs. Akwuogu, I'm your big fan. I'm following you everywhere from now henceforth. So good to have you in the house, Ma. Thank you so much for coming to the platform. Yes, Mary is excited and ready. to go. So if you are getting set, let me see it in the chat room that you're getting ready. You're getting ready, you're getting ready. In a short while, we'll be playing the R.E.A.D introduction again so that you get to know a little bit more about us, especially for those that are just joining us. So please stay with me, stay with us, because it's going to be a fantastic time tonight of learning. So yes, we can go ahead and play our introductory video once more while others are joining us. Thank you so much.
Social media handles.
Oh, yes.
R.E.A.D platform is a non-profit, non-governmental and non-religious platform created to produce ethical millionaires, thought leaders and change agents who are motivated to create positive changes in the sands of time across the globe. Our definition of a millionaire is someone who is able to give $1 million in any currency he or she is earning to a worthy cause of their choice that would bring about transformational effects to the society at large. We aim to produce minimum of 10 millionaires annually across the globe. This, we intend to achieve by providing a platform that supports individuals to develop and maintain healthy habits and make better day-to-day decisions through acquisition of the right knowledge and ideas. We encourage people to reach and fulfill their potentials by exposing them to global leaders, role models, mentors who have made positive impacts in this generation, deploying the social media platform to connect mentees to mentors, a person at a time, a day at a time, a habit at a time. We read a book a month and also have a webinar a month to address aching issues raised in the course of the month. We are poised to raise world-class leaders who will utilize their resources and abilities to affect the change that the world desires. Our social media handles.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ma, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much, Bumi. Awesome introduction. This month's theme just has me very excited, and Bumi has done a very fantastic job introducing the topic, gaining global relevance. Why should you be local when you can be global? And what actually makes you global? It's your choices. You made a choice to register for this webinar, and you made a choice to actually be in this webinar. So already I can see your life changing. And what we'll be doing, I'm not doing plenty talk. I've already told the team. Today is not the day for talk. We have too many people that are here to not just tell us principles, but tell us about how they got to where they are. So success is not a myth. Achievement is not a myth. It's a choice. And I just want to drop this. How many choices do you think you make every day? An average human being. How many choices? In the chat room, let me see it, so that I can put some context into what you're learning today. How many choices do you think you make? We're about 19 on the call right now. How many choices do you think you make in a day? In a day, on the average, how many decisions do you make? Try now. And several is not, it's a figure. 10, 5, 6, 1, 2, 0. How many? Chika says maybe 20. Can I have like 3, 4 more responses? Bumi says 50. Toluwani says 500. Daniela says 30. Okay, so let me help you for the sake of our time. And after this, please go and Google it. According to Google, an average adult makes 35,000 decisions consciously and subconsciously every day. And is that decision, those decisions, that is channeling the direction, the trajectory of our lives from when you are subconsciously trying to wake up. Should I stand up? Should I snooze 5 more minutes? Should I? Your day and your life are started. And we'll be seeing people, some are more dramatic than the other. Some make more impact in our lives than the other. We'll be listening to people, and this particular webinar is very, very dear to my heart. I have people that I've never met before, like one-on-one, like my sister Toluwani, beautiful woman from Ireland. And I'd like to say a bit on how Toluwani and I met. I met Toluwani through an awesome soul in Uganda that I've never met before either. And she just comes and she goes like, oh, there is a lady, she met me through the social media platform. We got talking. Her name is Noreen. She should be joining this call with her team from Uganda. And after a while of us interacting, she's like, oh, there's a lady you need to meet. And she gives me a handle, and boom, I meet Toluwani. And, you know, we call ourselves sisters because the way we connect, when we are talking on the phone, I'm not kidding, we are talking for hours. So you can't be using the social media for nonsense. There are lots of value you can derive from there. Now, on the reverse, so that's Toluwani and I. For someone like Alexandra, I've known Alex now. Alex, we've known for like over 25 years. So we were in University of Ilorin together. We'll be seeing their profiles. We have Professor Ogaji on the call. Professor Ogaji is an amazing, and I'm not saying it, you would hear them. Professor Ogaji is an amazing, amazing teacher, mentor, coach, father, brother, is all of that. And we equally have our Akwuogu. I was telling the technical crew just before the meeting started that Akwuogu is a woman that wears many hats. So it's one of the hats that will be seen today, because I looked at it that if we bring her in her fullness, we would not have the time to contain it, but would be hearing some hints. So these people, you'll be seeing their profiles, and I don't want you to be intimidated by those profiles. I want you to understand that let them be the John the Baptist to your Jesus. Let them be your forerunner. Understand that if they can achieve it, it's a leverage point. Remember that we are talking about how to become ethical millionaires. And I can assure you that none of these people are poor. So yes, contrary to some funny beliefs that we have around some sectors, hard work pays. Hard work pays, and it pays very, very well. And you'll be hearing people tell us on how to get it smarter and how to be global, how to move around, how to navigate. As I said, I'm not the one doing the talking today. The people doing the talking, I'm waiting to learn. I'm a student this evening. So please sit back. We are kicking off at the speed of light. Thank you very much. And over to you, Bumi.
Thank you very much, Coach. I celebrate you. You know, I'm your biggest fan, loving you all the way. So yes, I'm going to be playing the profile of our speakers. So ladies, gentlemen, please stay tuned and look out for this. It's really good. All right.
Umana is an expert in design safety engineering with global working experience across oil and gas, petrochemicals, pharmaceuticals, biomedical, IT, data centers, defense and security and urban rail industries. He has functioned as a technical safety engineering authority in various multi-million-dollar engineering projects. He has worked in expert-level positions in Scotland, England, Republic of Ireland, Belgium, UAE and Canada. He is an alumni of the Graduate School of Engineering at the University of Aberdeen in Scotland. where he obtained his MSc in Safety Engineering, Reliability and Risk Management 2009. He achieved a National Certificate in Occupational Health and Safety, UK, in 2012 and obtained a Certificate in Advanced Project Management from the University of Oxford, England, in 2016. He graduated from the University of Ilorin with B.Engine in Electrical Engineering. Alexander is passionate about mentoring and coaching young engineers, supporting them in their journey to attain their full potential. He is currently working as safety engineering consultant for different clients in the pharmaceutical, oil and gas, and urban rail industries. Alexander is also a director in R.E.A.D Consulting Limited, UK, an engineering and project management company he started with his wife in 2014. Before these, he worked as senior EHS consultant with PM Group Ireland, led technical safety engineer with Amek Foster Wheeler, senior safety engineer with Ibelas Norway and technical safety engineer with Wood Group UK. Alexander is a fellow member of the International Institute of Risk and Safety Management, UK, a member of the Safety and Reliability Society, UK, a member of the Energy Institute, UK, and a chartered member of the Engineering Council, UK. Alexander is the current Chairman Board of Trustees, Greatness Church, Ontario, Canada. He is happily married to Umana, and they have 3 children. Toluwani Akaehomen is the Principal Leadership, Learning and People Development Consultant at Vantage Dimensions Consulting, now Toluwani Akaehomen Consulting, where she consults and coaches on inclusive leadership, effective communication and enhanced performance through transformed thinking and behavioral change, and where she leads strategies for leadership development, training, learning and development, and ethnic and gender inclusion. She also supports underrepresented communities to use their voices for positive change. In the last 6 years, she has worked extensively with immigrant women in Ireland as a career transition and personal development coach. Toluwani is also the founder and chief strategist at Hergenuity Africa, an organization which supports and promotes the socio-economic development and inclusion of African women through entrepreneurship, enterprise development and business leadership. www.hergenuityafrica.org. She is also Director of Studies at R.E.A.D College, an ed-tech, which focuses on professional education and leadership development. www.roegatecollege.com. Among other professional qualifications and affiliations, Toluwani holds a higher national diploma in mass communication, Mashood Abiola Polytechnic, a bachelor's in business studies with specialization in human resource management. University College Dublin, a master's degree in business administration, MBA with distinction, from University of Wales Trinity St David, and a UCD postgraduate certificate in innovation, entrepreneurship and enterprise. She is also a certified leadership and business startup coach. Toluwani is currently completing her PhD at Coventry University in the UK, with research interests in female, immigrant, entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial leadership and entrepreneurship education and training. She is a published author, a ghostwriter, a published researcher, and was named one of 145 Inspiring Women Leaders 2020. Her core values are family, faith, authenticity, integrity, servant leadership, personal growth, and justice. Toluwani is married with adult children. Professor Stephen Ogaji Tamuno Ojuemi Ogaji has acquired over 29 years of cognate experience in academia and industry, having worked as a university lecturer in Nigeria and the United Kingdom before spending the last decade in industry, where he led the developmental efforts of several power projects including OMA and AZIKEL. Ogaji has a PhD in gas turbine engineering and a postgraduate certificate in teaching, learning and assessment (PG Cert) in higher education from Cranfield University, UK. He also has an MBA from the University of South Wales, UK, and a postgraduate certificate on project finance from Middlesex University, UK. Ogaji has published over 100 technical papers in peer-reviewed journal and conferences, as well as 3 engineering textbooks. Professor Ogaji joined the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC, in February 2016 and is currently the General Manager of Fuels and Gas PP, Special Projects Department. He oversees all current and prospective gas infrastructures on behalf of NDPHC as well as leads the development of new power initiatives and public-private partnerships. Akwuogu Anyaegbunam is an international development specialist, author and social innovator focused on building a sustainable futures through education and enterprise. She is multiple recipient of fully funded merit-based scholarships and educational grants for both her master's degree and professional development program in the course of her career. As a result of her experiences, she founded Prescholar Africa, a platform that teaches how to access scholarships for international studies. A firm believer that talent is universal but opportunity is not, she is passionate about reskilling and upskilling Africans for global impact through access to scholarships, knowledge exchanges and training programs. Akwuogu is married with 3 children and loves to learn, research new ideas and engage in stimulating conversations. Toluwani Oksola is a child protection and development practitioner with over 5 years' experience in the NGO space as an advocate against sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV, and violence against women and girls, VAWG. Working as the lead programs manager in a leading NGO focused on SGBV against children, she spearheaded several projects including projects funded by DFID, UN Women and the French Embassy. Her experience spans through program design, management, and implementation, gender advocacy, community mobilization, facilitation, and provision of psychosocial support for victims of sexual abuse. As a survivor of abuse herself, she is very passionate about equipping and empowering children, especially girls, with what they need to thrive and live a purposeful life free from abuse.
She is an ardent God chaser and her current role is the General Manager at El Tales Foundation, a faith-based non-profit organization, gives her the platform to pursue her passion of partnering with and coaching parents, stakeholders to raise godly, confident and capable children. Bunmi Okosala holds a degree in botany and is currently being trained as a counselor so she can serve her target audience better. She is known for her commitment to serve humanity as she puts to use her strong people skills. She believes that life is all about impact and she is here for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this prestigious platform, let us make welcome our guest speakers and our moderator for this webinar.
Wow. As I was just watching the profile, I was just saying, wow. Guys, did you see that? Did you see those amazing profiles? Oh, we are in for a great time today. I just want to say thank you so much to our speakers for showing up tonight. Please let me know if you're ready in the comment section as I welcome our first speaker for tonight. Let me see those excited icons on the chat so that I can call up our first speaker for tonight. Miriam, thank you. Wow. She said, wow. Yes. So I was saying, wow, 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 too. I was just hoping I was not saying it through the audio as I was going, wow. Yes, Tuminino is ready. I am ready. I am so ready. My pen is ready. My book is here. I have my water to drink here. I'm just ready and good to go. Yes, follow Sure Adekwa just saying yes, yes, yes. Well, ready to go. So I'll be calling up, yes, exciting speakers. I tell you, amazing speakers. And you are in for a good time. Yes, Ofems, thank you for that visual. It was beautiful. Thank you. He said, wow. Yes, wow. And you will be wowed tonight. Okay, so permit me to welcome our first speaker for tonight so that we can move really quickly. Professor Ogaji. You just saw the profile, 29 years of experience in the academia. That is mind-blowing. Welcome, sir. Yes, we can see your video on now, sir. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are good and ready for you, sir. Are you ready, people? Professor Gaji is here and ready to give it to us hot this evening. So let's go. We're happy to have you here, sir. You have the platform already.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody on the platform today. I'm hoping that before the end of the program today, every one of you will definitely take out something very positive, something challenging, something that will encourage you to go for it. I have 20 minutes. Can you confirm that, please? So that, I like to talk sometimes so that I control it. How long do I have, please?
Say about 15 to 20 minutes. If we can make it 15 minutes, that would be good, sir.
Okay.
So that we can take questions.
Okay, you
so that we can take questions.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm talking about advantages of having a foreign degree. I have the opportunity of having schools in different parts of the world. I have my first and second degree in engineering, mechanical engineering to be precise, from the Rivers State University of Science and Technology in Port Harcourt. After I completed that, I worked a bit as a lecturer for about 6 years in Port Harcourt, Rivers State University. And then I left briefly to work with a company called Schlumberger. They're a French company, so I was actually resident in the Middle East Asia region, going around Dubai, Abu Dhabi, India, Egypt, and all those areas. It wasn't too interesting for me. After a year or two, I had to come back to teaching because I seem to have some kind of fulfillment. Everybody has an area where you are motivated towards. So I came back to teaching at the same Rivers State University of Science and Technology. And since teaching was something I would like to do, I needed to have a PhD. So I started searching the internet for opportunities, and I saw the Commonwealth Scholarship. Incidentally, I have a 2-1, so I was able to apply for it, and I got it. And I was sent to Cranfield University in the UK in 2000, precisely 2000. I went to Cranfield, and I completed my PhD there in gas turbine engineering in 3 years. And I also did a postgraduate certificate in teaching, learning, and assessment. Completing my program there opened a lot of opportunities for me. As a matter of fact, the university wanted me to stay back. I thought of coming back to Nigeria, to Port Harcourt, and continue my teaching as a local champion. But having a foreign degree actually opened a new horizon for me, starting from Cranfield University. I took up that opportunity, lectured at Cranfield. Then in 2011, there was an opportunity, and one of the ministers in Nigeria, the Minister for Power, Professor Bat Naji, invited me to come and support the work of power generation in Nigeria. And I came in as his advisor. So that meant I had to resign from Cranfield University and come back. But you can see the global perspective, the global orientation, and the global view that I was able to acquire, staying back a bit in Cranfield and doing my thing in international conferences and programs around the world. So I came back to Nigeria and continued working here. And like you heard from the profile, I currently work in the Niger Delta Power Holding Company as a general manager for fuel and gas. So I manage we have about 10 power plants. I manage all the activities relating to gas infrastructure, gas supply, gas agreements, and all the others. And I find it very, very exciting indeed. Now, foreign degree. And I have to sound a note of caution here. When you talk about foreign degree, where are you referring to? What is foreign? Is it a private university somewhere? Is it, because I can tell you for a fact and for free that even in the Western world, you can buy degrees. I can tell you that for free, even in the Western world. So the fact that you went to somewhere in North America or somewhere and you acquire some qualification, does that really give you the edge that you deserve to get, having left your local shores and gone out. So one needs to be very, very careful with this. Someone says, permit my French, shit can take you up there, but the shit cannot keep you up there. So crap can take you up there, but it cannot keep you there. So if we cut corners and say, because we want to acquire a degree, and I'm saying this with all sincerity of purpose, where I work currently, we had interview for prospective employees. And I had this person from Cyprus, and he has completed the program from Cyprus, fantastic result and coming. And he knows basically nothing, He has a foreign degree, but how does he back that up? With what? Can he show or demonstrate that? That's why I say that you can get qualifications and it takes you nowhere. But when you get the right one, certainly, it opens massive doors for you. So we have to be very selective with our choice of foreign degree or university. Do the research, check the status of that school or that institution, their ratings. Every country has a rating for their universities. It's based on teaching quality, it's based on research, it's based on a number of other things. Don't look for the lowest one that is the cheapest one. It may not give you what you want to get. And so, are there advantages then in acquiring a foreign degree? Certainly. One of those advantages is the educational system difference. There is a bit of depth and breadth in the knowledge that is imparted. When you study outside, because I've done that for about 7 years. When I got my PhD, I started lecturing at Cranfield University. And at Cranfield, we don't do undergraduate, we only do masters and PhD. So I have to supervise masters and PhD students. But one thing we noticed, and one thing we have learned over there, is that as a lecturer, I don't come to teach you step by step. I only facilitate your learning. And that process of facilitating helps you to discover knowledge yourself. And that is the kind of breadth and depth you get from very good institutions abroad. And so the depth, the knowledge you get is something that is not very, very common in our local environments. Also, the curricula and the application, a lot of the work that you will do outside may be practically oriented. So you take the knowledge and you convert it to practice. And that is something that everybody wants to get, because many times you don't understand the thing until you can see it practically demonstrated, especially for those who are into technical fields. So it's very, very helpful. And also, of course, a common thing is that your timeline is guaranteed to a great extent. They can go on strike as well. My daughter in Kent University was telling me something. She's on the platform, Daniela Ogaji, that is like, yes, there's a strike. It's strange to my ears because all through the time I was in the UK, I didn't see that. Everywhere they want higher salaries. So, but she tells me that there was a bit of strike. I don't know what the impact is, but in most cases, you know when you start, you know when you end. Over here, it's not that easy at all. It's not that easy. Now you are able to build your skill and to build yourself. You see, when I went to Cranfield University, I found out that living, because those days, maybe not these days when younger people are very good with computer, our days, which is in 2000, that's almost 22 years ago or so, you had to do everything yourself. In Nigeria, when I was in Nigeria, if I prepare something, I can give it to the typist. They will work on it and they will give to me. They'll type my project, they will do this, they will do that. But over there, you will sit down and knock everything out yourself. And that is where you see us, the specialists, using 2 fingers to go around on the keyboard like that. While others are running their fingers around the keyboard, you are using 2 fingers. And so what they would typically do in 30 minutes, you spend the whole day and you feel that you have achieved a lot. So it helps you to build your skills in all areas. Because you have to be independent and you have to do it. Others are doing it, you will do it as well. So in that kind of fold, you build yourself. You may not get to the peak of what you want to get within your study time, but you have started on a race, on a journey that certainly you'll come out on top. Also, you have all the equipment. You see, when I was doing my PhD, I just have to relate that to you because it's foreign qualification, foreign degree. I've studied in Nigeria also, as you have seen. Over there in Cranfield, I worked, my PhD was on artificial neural networks, using the way the brain thinks to solve engine problem, gas turbine problems. In a gas turbine, you generate electricity. So you have three main components: the compressor, the combustor, and the turbines. And so when there is a fault in this machine, how do you know? So I have to use a software to model that gas turbine. And then I begin to implant different types of faults. Oh, maybe the blades are dirty. So I implant a fault on a fouled blade, dirty blade. Or there's a problem with the turbine. So you implant those kind of faults and you generate a lot of data. When you generate this data, you apply it on what we call artificial neural networks. It's a software. So it begins to see patterns and create patterns. If it sees this pattern, this is the issue. If it sees this pattern, this is the problem. And I have to use 7 computers at the same time. I don't know if I would have had that kind of opportunity here in Nigeria. Many times I have to run that till about 12 midnight, and then I leave and go to my room. It's still running. I come back at 4 or 5 a.m. and I check the results, because if you stop that process, you have to restart the whole thing again. So the availability of equipment is critical, and you have this access out there. You have it. And then you have nothing but books, books, books. We are now trying to do that here in Nigeria, which is very good. Universities are linking up, but the books you really need are not on Google or something. There are some specific materials you may need depending on your area of research or area of work. And your library needs to be interconnected with resources around the world where you pay subscription and you get these materials. And so there are a lot of books, there are a lot of publications, there are references that you can apply. I know one of my old universities here, they still have books of 1970, 1970 something. If you put those things in your references, then you might as well go back to those ages and start applying those kind of results. So you want to write a material, you want to write a journal, you want to write a conference paper, you must have very recent technology, very recent application of that technology in your citations. And so these are opportunities you have out there. Of course, some of the private universities are trying to link up now, but we still have some long way to go in that. There's a way that studying abroad, foreign degree, changes your mentality. I arrived in Cranfield University, an African boy, 30 years old, and then I met my professor. And I called him Prof, sir. He said, no, don't call me that. My name is R.E.A.D. I said, sir. He said, R.E.A.D, first name. My brothers, my sisters, it took me a long time to understand that you can relate with your supervisor, with your lecturer on a friendly basis. There's mutual respect. You don't take that for granted, but there was mutual respect. So those of us from Africa and those people from India and Asia, we found it very difficult because we are all used to sir, sir, sir. But over there, they try to change our orientation. They try to change our mentality. You can sit on the same table with your lecturer. You can have a very good discussion. You can play games together. From my experience here in Nigeria, it's completely different. I have seen teachers, maybe a student mistakenly calls your name. You say, okay, that's a carryover for you. I mean, the way people behave was completely abnormal. So having looked at that particular point, I saw, and it actually got into me, that everybody, that student is your potential market, because he goes out there and if he badmouths you, you are in trouble. But if he good mouths you, you will see the opening of businesses for that institution. And so as a result, every one of us were all informed, and we all learned that we must take our jobs very, very seriously and market our product and our students widely. And so you see, the relationship and the orientation was there. Then you also have the lecturers who do not just come, read a book and explain that book to you. They actually have carried out experiments. They have carried out researches on that. In those places, you must publish your works, and your publication guides your teaching. Your research guides your teaching. So what they are giving to you is current state-of-the-art knowledge. We try to do that here in Nigeria, but what you normally will see is that you need to invite people from industry. You can bring Sister Itunu from MTN to come and give some technical knowledge, technical to the class, but they have never practiced it properly. While the teachers over there are doing current state-of-the-art research, they still have to bring in core people from the industry to come and take short courses, to come and run them and impart that knowledge. And then you have people in your class who have different depth of knowledge on different areas, and you rub minds and you grow better and higher. So that's what you see out there. Now, it's not just that alone. There are career opportunities, and a foreign degree will afford you. Even while in school, you can work. While in school, we don't have jobs here. Of course, we know we have economic challenges. But over there, while in school, you are allowed to work. If you are a foreign student, you can do 20 hours a week. If you are a home student, nobody controls you, but you have to manage it because you have to be successful at your studies. But in general, the moment you come out, there are opportunities for you, opportunities that you can latch onto because of that qualification you have got. There are so many professional bodies that will not register you if you are just having a local degree. If you have a master's degree, a PhD from Nigeria, many of our professional organizations, for instance, ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, NIMEC, all those ones, they will not even look at you. They will tell you that you have to go and do upgrade courses. But once you have these foreign degrees, they look at you and say, yes, you have got the minimum requirement, and so you can become a professional, a chartered member, and other things like that. So this is, have I taken up to 15?
Yes, yes, I was just going to say that. Let me round up
in 1 minute. So there are various.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Yes, so there are various positives, but be that as it may, I still believe that there are very good advantages of the local degrees, the local qualifications. Number one, is cheaper. It's not too costly. People are shouting when they raise school fees to 40, 50,000. It's not, it's not bad at all. You see, there are online options, of course, but sometimes face-to-face really makes a big difference. And then if you school in Nigeria, sister and brother, you have some kind of resilience that anywhere you go to, you can survive. If you school here, nobody's spoon-feeding you. You studied, you tried your best, you came out, you have everything. And then there's a lot of native and emotional intelligence that you get if you school locally. It has its advantage. Native, the man that is coming from abroad may just look at your face eyeball to eyeball and say anything if he comes here because he doesn't understand. But when you go through our system, you know how to respect others. You know how to be emotionally intelligent so that you don't get into unnecessary trouble, and you can cope. And well, you also will develop a lot of good spiritual muscle when you school in Nigeria, because we have to call God every time. We have to depend on Him. So these are some advantages. So it's not all doom and gloom. Let me stop at this point and allow the other speakers to talk. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. Wow, please help me celebrate Professor Ogaji in the chat. Thank you so much. In fact, I particularly like the fact that you decided to balance it up by telling us it's not all gloom and doom, but you also need to try and see the positive side. Even if you have to school here locally, you also need to try and see the positive side, like the respect for elders, the emotional intelligence you have to build. Like, I can't remember having to call, you call your lecturer name, you have failed already. You have already written your result already. But, we're going global, and, we're going to be, I know we'll be having a lot of questions in that area, but because of time, I wish we could just allow this, but time will not permit us. So we have to moving. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate it. Please, guys, if you have questions, please put it in the chat. I know you have questions. Many people want to jackpot this, whether it's happening locally, they don't want to know. They just want to go. Let me go and experience what you have experienced. That's a lot of people start. So please put your questions in the chat, everyone, so that we don't miss it. Thank you very much once again, sir. We are really, really grateful. So we'll be moving on. I'll be going to the next speaker for the day. Guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm going to be calling the next speaker for the day, and she will be speaking. She's the education specialist, the scholarship specialist. Please join me. Welcome. A woman I'm loving already. Just listening to her profile, I'm loving her already for all the achievements and the beautiful work she's doing. She's going to be speaking to how to get foreign opportunities and scholarship. Those scholarships you've been looking for, those foreign opportunities you're pursuing. She's going to be telling us a lot about it. Please join me. Welcome, Mrs. Akwuogu. Yes, welcome, Ma. We're welcoming you in the chat room. Is Akwuogu here? Okay.
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Good evening,
thank
Ma.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you, Prof. I'm writing notes. I don't know where I'm going to go again, but I'm still writing notes because he made so many good points, some of which I'm going to even build on in this session. So I think, first of all, sometimes we have to be careful, like Prof said, about the context with which we look at these things. So a lot of times people, like you said, a lot of times you just want to jacka, you just want to just go. Let's just go. I don't care what country it is, I don't care where I'm going. But you see, that's a recipe for disaster, because anything that you're not intentional about and that you don't plan, it doesn't end well. Right? No matter how good your intentions are, you need to plan these things ahead of time. And nothing just happens. Nothing happens just like that. When you see people that are succeeding in a particular area of life or work or business, they are it didn't just happen like that. They didn't just stumble upon it. And there's this mentality that we have, especially in this part of the world, where you just want to blow. You just want to hit the jackpot. You just want to try once. It's like it's a lottery. That's not the way it works. It doesn't work like that. Everybody will tell you, you have to do the work. Now, let me give you a brief breakdown of how I even got into talking about scholarships in the first place, right? I think round about primary school, secondary school, my mother had always wanted her children to get the best education. So somewhere in there, the conversation about, having a degree abroad was somewhere, and the plan was that she was going to have enough funds set aside. So when the time came, it would be easy to just pay and have our children go abroad. Mind you, I was doing very well in school. I think that is an important thing to point out. I was doing very well in school. I was constantly maintaining maybe top 10, top 20% of whatever class I was in, right? So I had a very solid foundation. But fast forward sometime in secondary school, my mom's plum job was no longer there. So I knew that if this studying abroad thing was going to happen, it was going to have to be from somewhere else because the funds were no longer available. So I had my undergraduate education in Nigeria, in Federal University of Technology, Minna. And I think round about my end of my first year, I decided to start looking for scholarships. Mind you, my course is a 5-year course, right? I studied microbiology. I knew I wanted to study abroad from my first year. So I started looking for scholarships from my second year in university when I did not even have a degree yet, right? So when people call me a scholarship expert, oh, hi, Susan, okay, they have another FET in our alumni here. When somebody calls me a scholarship expert, I laugh because the only reason why I seem to know a lot more about scholarships than the average person is because I spent more time reading about it, looking at it, browsing about the eligibility criteria. I knew more than I needed to know, right? And that was a conscious decision that I made. Nobody begged me to do it. Nobody did a webinar to encourage me to do it. Nobody did a goal setting session to encourage me to do it. I decided, I made the decision on my own. I set a goal on my own and I worked at it, right? Now, having said that, by the time I was graduating, what that did for me, really, what that making a decision early did for me was it made me realize I needed to get a particular GPA, right? Just getting a 2.1 was not going to be enough to put me at the top of the very top. I needed to either make a first class or a very high 2.1. So I set my sights on making a 4.0 CGPA. And I graduated with a 4.19. So I hit my target. But that was because I had a goal from the beginning. So what setting a goal from the beginning does for you is that when you see things that are not aligned with where you are going, because you know where you are going, you don't even take part in those conversations. You couldn't even come to me to want to influence me to say you want to go somewhere. I just was never part of those conversations. And it was a pact between me and God. I said, God, this is what I want to. I would do whatever is necessary to get to that point, but please guide my steps. Let the Holy Spirit just be guiding me in whatever conversations I'm having, whatever associations I'm having, whatever it is that I'm doing. If it is not going to help what I'm trying to do, if it's not going to help where I'm trying to go, just remove it from my way. I don't even want to see it. And that helped me a lot. I was hyper-focused in school. I had a social life. I knew, I was active. I had friends. I had a very good experience in university. But I knew that my overarching goal was to get a GPA that would let me be top choice for scholarships abroad. So by the time I was graduating, I had already applied for a couple of scholarships in my final year. I started applying in final year. Another thing I'd like to point out is if you do the work, if you make the difficult decisions early, right? If you make the sacrifices early, it will help your journey, right? So decide first. Once you've made that decision, it makes things a little bit more, it makes things clearer for you, right? So I just didn't want to come here and say, okay, to look for a scholarship, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. No, that would be misleading. First of all, I made the tough decisions. I read longer, I stayed on in class, I attended every lecture, I made sure that my CGPA did not slide. If anything was making it slide, I cut it off immediately. I was that brutal, I was that focused, right? So that's what gave me a good headway, okay? So now, having said that, why are these scholarships even important? Why don't we just, sit down and try and work it out in Nigeria? Let me ask you a question. So if everybody in Nigeria, if all the young people in Nigeria, all the children in Nigeria decided to say, I want to have an education now, I'm going to dress up and go to school, do we even have enough institutions to absorb all of them? We don't. So these are the issues. Meanwhile, we have a population that is growing at an alarming rate. We do not have the institutions to handle the ones we have currently, not to talk of the ones that are coming behind us. We've seen it. It's not like it's not fiction. We have seen it happen. We have seen it happen. More and more people are coming out of school. More and more. The truth is that economies don't grow at a particular rate cannot absorb young people. It's impossible. So what we're here now, what do we need to do now? We need to use our best resource. The best resource Africa has is not even all these oil and precious gemstones. It's people. And we have the highest percentage of youth on the planet. Aside India and maybe China, I don't think there are any countries that come close to us in the number of young people that we have. Interestingly, we also have something that many people don't have, resilience, which is what Prof talked about. That resilience, you can't buy it in the market. It's either you have it or you don't have it. And we have it in quantum, right? So that's a good thing. We have young people, we have resilient people, we have super smart people. Now, what we don't have are enough platforms to make them shine and understand that there are solutions. The young people in Nigeria are going to be the people that will fix this continent. Mark my words, there is no other way. Nobody from Europe is going to come and fix your country. They have their own country, they have their own problems. They're not going to fix it. It's not paying them to fix it. Nigeria, especially because we have the highest number of smart people, is going to be the solution to Africa's problems. But having said that, what are we doing to equip these people, right? So that is where I'm coming from in terms of teaching people about scholarships. It's about improving your intellectual capacity. If you cannot find it locally, go outside, right? You did not say that the only way you can be intelligent as a Nigerian is to receive your intelligence and information from within Nigeria. There's no way that it is written. It is not written like that anywhere. Learn from wherever you can learn from and fix what you need to fix. There's a reason you are from Nigeria. It doesn't mean that your legs are shackled to Nigeria and your destiny is shackled to Nigeria. Even the Bible says you are the salt of the earth. You are not the salt of Lagos. You are not the salt of your village. You are the salt of the earth. So the solutions that you bring will not only bring solutions to your locality, but to the world. And this is the thing. We're at a time when you cannot be tying yourself down. When you know you are smarter than your environment, you move. You are not a tree, right? So scholarships are one of the ways to introduce the merit system back into our society, because somewhere along the line, it's kind of evaporated, right? When you go to school abroad, just like Prof said, you will be forced to be valuable. You cannot not be valuable. They'll just toss you to one side. Because first of all, you need to be able to tell them why you are there and why they should listen to you. Being intelligent is value, right? But being able to translate that intelligence to solve problems is even more valuable. And one way to do that is to go to school and get a white-collar job, 9-to-5 job, especially in the technical fields, because there's a huge gap in Nigeria in terms of technical jobs that can absorb all the young people in the technical field. So I usually advise, if you want to do anything in STEM at all, please look outside, right? So now we've given the background. I think it's safe for me to now give you the steps, I would like to call it, on how to look for scholarships and how to access these scholarships. Another thing I like to point out is, look at the people making waves today. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of World Trade Organization, Akaehomen additional of the AFD, the African Development Bank. We're not shouting this thing enough, right? That nobody is going to give you respect on a platter of gold. You're going to have to earn it, and you're going to have to take it. Now, one of the ways we can do that, like I said, is through education. And we're already smart. We're so smart in Nigeria. We're super smart. That's why whenever no matter how we struggle in school in Nigeria, and we go to other countries, we shine. Because we're not worrying about, oh, where will I sit so that I can get the right light? Where will I stay so that I will not be in trouble, or there's no space in class? There's always space in class. There's always space. There's always space in class. There's a good environment. So you don't have any excuse not to succeed when you get abroad. I've already said you should decide and define what you want, right? So what do you want? What do you want the scholarship for? Do you want to change careers? Do you want to change technicalities? Do you want to go into tech and you want a brand new degree? What do you want? Do you want to move your family abroad? Do you want a second passport? There's nothing, it's what you want, right? Then the second thing is outline your options based on what you want. So there are certain countries you should not be looking at if you have a family and you're trying to go for a master's degree, like in Ireland. You can't go with your family, right? It's just one of the ways that you need to narrow down the countries that make sense for you, for where you are currently. Number 3, order them in order of priority, and then rank them in order of priority, and then streamline those options and strategize. there's so much information, right, out there. But the most important thing is that when you're looking for a scholarship, your problem is not begging, you're not begging them, right? What you're doing is you're saying, I am smart, I am valuable. Your school needs me because I will make your school and your department look fantastic at the end of my program. I will be a worthy ambassador. I will be a worthy alumnus. That's what you're doing. But as Africans, we have a problem articulating our value, and that's where the problem is. So learn how to, if you need to go for speaking courses, go for speaking courses. If you need to go for writing courses, go for writing courses. Do whatever you need to do. Be active in your community. It's not just about grades. You also need to be active in your community. You need to be about something. What are you about? You are not, when people ask who you are, not your job title, not how many A's you had in school. What is it that you're interested in? And what have you done to improve yourself? What have you done in the areas that you're interested in? Because those things count. There's so much information here. Okay, if you're an undergraduate and you want a scholarship, the things they look at, it's not just your grades. They also look at, are you active in sports? Do you take part in speaking competitions? Do you take part in debates? Look, it's only in Nigeria that we don't take those things seriously. But if you're a parent and you have a child that is active in all those things, keep your receipts, keep pictures, keep videos, all those things count, because that's what the countries abroad want to know, that you're not just a walkover, that you're worth their time. So if you can show that you are worth their time, they will give you a platform. Now, we won't talk about all the other issues that everybody brings up and, being a Black person in another man's country. That one is just a distraction. When you have a purpose, you have a goal, which is why I say it's important for you to define what you're doing. You don't just jackpot because everybody is jackpotting. You don't even know why you are jackpotting. You just want to jackpot with everybody. It doesn't make sense. Have a goal. If it is to get a new job internationally, have that in front of you. Look for the schools that are looking for people that your eligibility criteria can somewhat be close to that. But before you get there, your foundation must be strong. If you do not have a good CGPA, then try and get a master's degree locally and be in class, sleep in class, get as high of a mark as you can get. That will help. If you have a good CGPA, try and be active in your community. It also helps because CGPAs are no longer enough. The competition is fierce. If you're a woman, there are opportunities for women. There are opportunities based on gender. There are opportunities based on being from a developing country. But you need to do the work. Do the research. Google is your friend. Stop paying agencies millions of naira to get you simple admission that you can go to the website and read and do yourself. This is the problem I have with most of us, is that entitlement mentality where you are waiting to be given everything. And people are just, maximizing that to skim you off your hard-earned money. Save your money, use your devices yourself. Like I said, look for opportunities in these areas. With a high CGPA, there are opportunities. With a low CGPA and you do a master's, like locally, you'll still be able to apply for some of these opportunities. With a good leadership report, so people that are, leaders in their communities, your leaders in your, maybe in your field, or you've done some good work in your field, you're an inventor, you've patented something. They like these kinds of things. Those things are valuable in the larger context, in the globe. If you don't have any of those things, save, invest, do what you need to do to get a small pot of cash available, so that even if all you get is a part rebate or half of your fees being paid, you can still take those opportunities. Let this year not be the year where you get up and you go and you become truly global. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. Oh, wow, that is beautiful. Please, let's appreciate Mrs. Akwuogu in the chat room. The questions are just buzzing in my head. I wish I could just start giving it to you. But, you really just answered one of the questions in my head that I was thinking that, What about those that now have low CGPA as they left school? Now, what are the options for them? And you started answering it. And I know a lot of people would also be asking a couple of questions in the direction of what you've spoken to tonight. Thank you so much. We're coming back. Just rest, drink some water while we're coming up with our question. Guys, please put your questions in the chat. Oh, I like one thing she said. She said, don't jackpot because everyone is jackpotting. It's not a jackpot competition. Why are you going? What is your goal? Mr. Ogaji said, if he said, what is foreign? So you don't just say, I want it foreign. What is foreign? Let's define it. Let's say exactly what we want. Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Toluwani says, excellent, succinct, straight to the point. Thank you, Akwuogu. Thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate you. We'll be coming back. Please stay with us. Thank you so much. So we're running. Guys, are you getting value? People, let me know. Are you getting value? Is this making sense to you? Are you putting the things together? The ideas coming together? Is the wisdom coming together? Jackpot competition. It's true now. It has become jackpot competition. Oh, all right. Yes. He's showing the boom boom sound in the chat room and fire. So I'm sure you're getting value. I'm getting a lot of value tonight. So please stay tuned. If you know anyone that needs to join this webinar right now, you should be telling them to join. There is value flying everywhere. Here, I'm welcoming the third speaker for the day. You can see our video is on, looking so beautiful and ready for us. She has been ready since 4 o'clock. Guys, let me tell you, she has been ready. If I were to tell her that, Ma, please calm down. Just wait, we're coming. What to tell her to just wait? And I know she's ready for us. So please put on the seatbelts, get ready as we're going to be cruising at a higher degree. It's getting hotter. So I want to welcome Mrs. Toluwani this beautiful evening. Thank you so much for joining us, Ma. She'll be speaking to how to excel in a foreign land. You want to jackpot? Know how to excel when you get there, because it's not always been on the other side as people will let you know. So you need to know how. You need to know what to do. So join me, welcome. Please celebrate her in the chat room with me this evening. Mrs. Toluwani, you are welcome, Ma. So good to have you.
So much.
You have the platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to say good afternoon to everybody here. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I want to celebrate the other speakers and of course the upcoming speakers. So Professor Ogaji, it's just a pleasure to have heard you. Thank you so much, Akwuogu. It was really, really on point. And of course, Alex is coming behind me. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So of course, my name is Toluwani Akaehomen. Every time you said, Bumi, every time you said Tumininu, my heart will skip a bit. She calling me because my birth name is actually Tumininu. I still call my mother Tumi. So every time you called her that name, I was like, oh, is she calling me? I remember, no, she's not calling me. There's another Tumininu on the platform. So thank you so much, Coach Tumininu, for inviting me. Thank you so much. I see this as an opportunity. And of course, it's an acknowledgement of my own journey. My journey that has been portrayed in terms of the successes that I've had, my failures, my challenges, and it's an opportunity to share that this afternoon. So thank you so much. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm conscious of 15 minutes. And the first question that I'd like to ask for those who are here, and I think each session actually should have been a full day, because the speakers they have so much to say and so much to share, but I know that Coach Tumininu has something maybe more in store for us. The first thing that came to my mind when this topic was given to me was actually, what does excelling mean for you? Because that term, excelling, is actually a concept that is quite subjective, very relative. So my understanding of excelling in a foreign land will be different from yours. And so it's very important to be clear. I came to live in Ireland 21 years ago, 2001. And so it'll be 21 years in October this year. And I wish I had heard Professor Ogaji before coming. I wish I had heard Akwuogu before coming. And I think this is a brilliant opportunity for those who are wanting to jackpot, for you to quickly take these words on board and run with them. What does excelling mean for you? It is relative. You have to conceptualize and be able to articulate what excelling means for you, so that when you get there, you'll be able to say, indeed, I am excelling, because everyone has their own definition of excellence and excelling. So I'm going to be very practical this afternoon, as the other speakers have been, and I'm going to share with you very quickly from my own learnings, my own journey, and what I've seen happen to other people. So I think the best, and I'm going to take some of the things I'm going to say from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm not sure that you probably are aware of that book. The first thing that I need to state here is that it's important for us to be proactive. And what does that mean? It is just back to what the two other speakers, the previous speakers, have spoken about. Getting the right information. Find out the right information before you leave the country. Get the right information. One of the things that I have heard said by, and in the last number of days, I've had people who actually just came to Ireland 4 months ago, 3 months ago, and they were from Nigeria. And sadly, there are highly qualified people amongst them who are in places I don't want them to be. I would never want them to be. They didn't get the right information. So what they have done is they have come to seek asylum, right? That is heartbreaking for me, because I know what they have. So get the right information. People here in Ireland they've also heard that when you come into Ireland, the first thing that you can do, the only job that you can get, first and foremost, is a care job. And that is also a wrong information. So be proactive, step forward, get the right information, and also find out what that country you want to go into, what is their take, or how do they rate the qualification from Nigeria, from your own home country. So find out what, for example, here in Ireland, we have the NARIC, and the NARIC website, you go there, you put in your own qualifications, allows you to see if your BSc or BEng or BA here in Nigeria is equivalent to the level 8, or your master's equivalent to the level 9. Ireland and UK have the same type of rating. So find out, how does that compare? How does that rate? So that you'll be very clear where to start from. A lot of people don't know. So when they come to a foreign country, they think they have to start from the bottom of the ladder. And you don't necessarily have to do that. Find out how it rates. So maybe all you need to do is actually add a few things. It's just, as Professor Ogaji said earlier, add a few professional qualifications to what you have, and you're ready to go. The second thing is, begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. And that speaks to your vision, the power of vision. See what you want and get what you see. So from before you leave your country, see what you want. Begin with the end in mind. That is the power of vision. So be clear where you want to be in another 5 years, in another 6 years, in another 10 years. Have at least a conceptualization of it, so that it will keep you, absolutely, thanks to Alexander, it will keep you on track, okay? It will keep you focused. It will keep you on the right path. And of course, it will keep your findings, your information that you're trying to find, it will keep it on the right, really narrow and focused. Next that I want to share is understanding what is the most important thing to you. As I said earlier, excelling is relative. For some people, what you want is to make loads of money in the abroad. And then you start to demonstrate to people and be prouding, as they say in Nigeria. But if you have a different focus, learn to focus on that thing. So put first things first, and then follow through with it. What are the most important things for you when you get into that land, and follow through with that? Okay, I know I can't be rushing here, but I wanted to get a few things in, and then the questions can come. Another point that I wanted to raise is patience. I found out that a lot of people that come into foreign countries don't have patience. The patience to go through the process. The process is very important. because the process will refine you. The process will ground you. The process will grow you. The process will make you. So be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. Once you come into a foreign land, you want to understand the terrain. And that sense of patience is very important, because you not think that, okay, I come here in 2 years time, 3 years time, I want to understand what is needed for you to get to where you want to go to. And you need patience with the process so that you can grow properly and you will be grounded. Next is learn from others, but don't compare yourself with anybody. I love to talk about the forerunner mentality, because the forerunner dimension is that which allows you to learn from people like us who have gone ahead. But then don't compare yourself with me or with somebody who came about 5 or whatever years ago. Learn your own way, learn what will work for you, but also learn from others. Know yourself, know where your strengths are, but don't compare yourself with any other person. All right. And I want to stress here that the common denominator in excelling in any land is you. You can excel anywhere. You have the DNA to excel anywhere you are. So excelling is a function of your outlook. It's a function of your mentality. It's a function of your paradigm, your perception about yourself, your perception about your environment, the new and old. So excelling is a function of who you are, who you perceive yourself to be. It's not based on where you are located. I understand the opportunities that are in foreign lands. I get it. I've lived abroad for 21 years. However, as I said, you are the common denominator anywhere you go. You are DNA, if I can put it that way, to excel. So find out where your uniqueness lies and step in there powerfully. Another point that I wanted to raise was that you should be ready to try new things. Never say never. Sometimes it requires that you try the things you haven't done before. You do what you haven't done before. You meet people you haven't met before. So try to break out of that comfort, because when you are being in a space where everybody knows you and you are doing the same thing all over again, when you go to a new space, it's hard to learn new things. And part of how to learning new things is understanding what the system requires from you in order to excel. So try to be open to learning new things and doing new things. So never say never. With Mike, I can't do that. Because sometimes you have to do what you normally would not do, of course, within boundaries, boundaries of values and boundaries of your own moral ethics. All of those things are in place. But sometimes you have to do the things that will challenge you, but you have to keep your eyes on where you're going. Also, in line with that, be ready to be stretched, be ready to be uncomfortable, be ready to I remember years ago when I had my children with me, they were quite young, and I was trying my best to step into new spaces, that I had to actually take up the job of dropping newspapers. I used to do 3,000 houses every week, but that was part of my journey. That was part of my journey, and I had to do that to allow myself to get to where I wanted to get to. But I had to keep my eyes on the vision. I had to keep my eyes on the goal. All right? So it's impossible for you to allow yourself to be stretched. I picked up on what Akwuogu said when she was speaking, and she said, be active in your community. Oh my goodness, I can't stress that enough. And that is one of the bane of people who have come from African countries. I'd say Nigeria, because I'm in Nigeria, speaking to Nigerians. That is one of the bane that we have. Oh my goodness. People will say, I'm not going to count bridge for here. So I better go. When you tell them to get involved in the community, forgetting that, let me talk about Ireland. Ireland is so close-knit. And I know that these people might not decide to come to Ireland. I'm just saying where I'm from and from my own experience. Ireland is so close-knit that the brother of the sister of the auntie of the uncle of the person that will give you a job is the person that you meet at, in a program. So it's important for people to know you. They have to, and don't forget that a lot of schools, a lot of jobs will be asking for references at different point or the other. So who's going to give you a reference if they don't know you? And that's one thing. People won't give you a reference unless they know you. So it networks, absolutely, very important. You must build that social capital. Because when my people, when they come into foreign lands, all they think about is money, that financial capital. I didn't come to Cambridge. When you tell them, get involved in your community, volunteer, serve, they don't see the value. No matter how much you preach it, they don't see the value. Thank you very much. I get that. Thank you. Thank you, Bumi. They don't see the value in getting involved. All they see is the work. But then forget that it's the locals, the indigenous people that will actually certify you, as it were. And if they say you're not going nowhere, I recognize the value of the qualifications we have. But if they decide you're not going anywhere because they don't know you, I think you'd have a lot of work to do. I also want to stress on you being able to take responsibility 100% for your life and setting clear goals, but also managing your expectations. So when things are not working as they should, be ready to pick yourself up very quickly and move on. I remember in 2008, when I went for a job interview, I thought, oh my goodness, I've nailed this job. I know how they must give me this job as part, you know. But I remember very clearly, and I remember where I was when I got this news that day, 2008. And they said to me, I was going to be working with a CEO of a Chamber of Commerce. And she said, we don't think our customers will like your voice on the phone. And I was absolutely blown over about that. Because I thought, my goodness, what else would I have gone to school? I've tried my best. But that's what they said. And then I dropped the line. I said, oh, maybe they didn't say the right, maybe I should ring again. I did ring again. And the guy said, well, actually, she did say that she didn't think that clients would like your voice on the phone. And by the way, Toluwani, I find you a bit aggressive myself, you know, and that was the end of that story. Okay, so you're confronted with things like that. And while we're not here to talk about biases and discrimination and all that, those are things that you need to contend with, and you need to still your mind, be prepared, because you're going to be, if you're a woman, you are a female, and you're not just a female, you're an immigrant female. You're an immigrant female from a developing nation, and you're an immigrant female from a developing nation of African descent. So you have those that could be potential contentions against you. However, you must learn to stand strong and stand tall and keep moving. Keep moving and pick up yourself. It's not actually triple anymore, it's quadruple, because now it's not just developing nation, it's developing nation of Africa, Black Africa. And we're treated very differently in those different quarters. So pick yourself up and keep moving. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Know how phenomenal you are. Always remember, one of the things I remind myself anytime I'm faced with it, I'm not just a child of God, I'm a phenomenal child of God. And I'm also phenomenal because I'm Nigerian. Anytime you see a Nigerian, we come out phenomenally. So anytime I walk into a room, I want you to know that I'm a Nigerian. So never forget who you are, where you're coming from, because all those things are things that you need to grapple with, okay? And also, that brings me to the point of how you grow in dealing with rejection, because they will come, being factual. They will come, grow in dealing with rejections, pick up yourself, keep moving. When I heard that verdict from that woman, even though I did go to ask her about it later, and she wasn't able to tell me anything concrete, I started my business in 2009. I said, you're not going to get me down. I know what I have, okay? So the last thing I want to say, and I know that I'm talking faster than I would normally, but I'm conscious of Oluwabumi that she's going to be hammering me with time matters. The last thing I want to say is learn to recognize opportunities. And I bring it back to Professor Akwuogu's point. Because of where we are coming from, recognizing opportunities and strategic thinking and critical analysis and all those things are things that are kind of foreign to us. They are foreign to us, but we need to grow ourselves and learning how to recognize those opportunities and how to maximize those opportunities. And those are the things that you grow in doing. You might miss some and then, but then opportunity to reflect and to grow. Next time you will meet it, you'll miss it, and being able to think about what you have in terms of where you're going and how you can maximize every opportunity and all the network you have around you. I'll rest it there and hand over back to you, Bumi.
Wow. Wow. This is so good, guys. This is so good. This is so good. Thank you so much, man. This is real practical ways and things that we must begin to pay attention to. Mrs. Toluwani has said it. She has said a lot. Learn to recognize opportunities. A lot of times we let opportunities go by. Thank you so much for hammering that. And, you know, handling rejection. I'm still going to come back to that with you, Ma, when we're going through the question and answer session, because it's a lot of things people face along the line in trying to seek foreign opportunities. And, you know, they apply once, they don't get it, and that's it. People sign out of it. They get there, they don't make it early, and they go for the really cheap, the low of the low kind of job. And it's not like it's not allowed to start from there, but we're not allowed to remain there. Like you said, we are phenomenal people, and we must keep hammering that to ourselves. Thank you so much. All the chat room is buzzing, Ma. Said amazing, fire. Thank you. Very informative. Abiola says very informative. Mary says learn to recognize opportunities. Thank you so much, Ma. And yes, Jero says amazing, firebrand. Thank you so much. Yes, she gave it to us hot. I wish we had so much time. I will just allow you to continue, but I'm sure we're still going to come back and have, you know, really good sessions with you. Thank you so much. Please help me celebrate Mrs. Toluwani in the comment section. We're going to come back to you with our questions, Ma. We're going to come back to you. Please, guys, questions. So questions. I need to see questions. I'm not seeing questions in the chat room. You have those questions. Please start putting them together as we move on to the last speaker for the day. We're really running with the speed of light. Like Mrs. Toluwani said, we should have one session each for each of the speakers, because there's just so much to talk about in these areas. But thank you for making it really brief for us tonight. I'm sure through the questions we'll be talking a lot more about some of these areas we're looking at. And finally, for the night, I'm going to be bringing up, yes, Mr. Alexander is ready for us already. I can see your video, sir.
Can you not?
Oh, yes.
Can you see me now?
Oh, yes, I can see you. Yes, I can see you. I can see you very well. So I'll be bringing up Mr. Alexander Umana to talk to us about practical. Now we're going practical realities of succeeding as an immigrant. Practical, what it is like, what is there. You need to know that. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're ready and good
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Bumi, and thank you all the previous speakers. You know, I've been writing down, and you know, when Mrs. Akwuogu was speaking, and you know, she's just speaking almost everything I've written down to talk about, and then Mrs. Toluwani came on board again, and it's almost like what's going on? You people now they read my mind. yeah. But like Itunu said this. I still have to top up the whole thing. So when we have speakers like this, you know, everybody comes and pour into the people listening, the audience. Is like, you know, the audience, their mind is like a bottle. Like, you know, everybody is just pouring information into. So my job today, which is a big job, is for me to make sure that the cup is full, the bottle is full, the information overflows, and everybody, you know, get the best out of this seminar. It's a great honor to be here, and I want to say a special thank you to Coach Itunu for inviting me. We've known each other for a very long time. We were classmates in the uni together, and I've been following up with the webinar as well too. So like everybody, so my name is Alexander Umana, and I'm a full-fledged Nigerian, Umana. So so don't be deceived by the name. So I grew up in the West, so I speak Yoruba very well. And though I'm from Akwa, so to say. So I left Nigeria like it's almost 13 years ago right now. So I came in for my master's in the UK, and I came in to study safety engineering after like spending almost like 3-4 years in the bank. So my dream is, you know, I went to the bank, so to say, just to establish myself in terms of getting funding to be able to come abroad. Like Mrs. Akwuogu said, I have the dream to actually, you know, to study abroad right from, you know, maybe my first year in the uni. I started searching for opportunities for scholarship. I think I got a scholarship in I think I have scholarship in Germany, but I couldn't go because of the language. So I have to defer for a while, try to work a bit in the bank, then I left. And also, there's also a funny part to this, studying abroad as well, because I'm light-skinned. So when I was growing up, a lot of people would tell me, this country not be for you, guy, you got to come out. So that's like some of the part of the, just the casual talk that actually at the end of the day, people say, some casual talk actually developed to be, to come as, as a reality. So those things actually, helped me. Even when I was in the bank, I was making money. I didn't allow the money to actually block what my vision is. And that brings me back to the point which Mrs. Akwuogu talks about. You need to plan. Nothing happens without you planning. And that is my first point here. And first thing, before I even go into that, I need to kind of disabuse people's mind about the various myths about immigration. Immigration is an advantage to any country. Immigration is an advantage. The reason why one of the quality we have as human beings is our ability to move around. We are not trees. It's only trees that can stay in one place and will not be able to move around. So immigration is a positive things to any country, to a nation, to people. So but even when you go into a country as an immigrant, don't see yourself as somebody that is 100% at disadvantage, because you are coming into that country to contribute to that country, and that will really help your mindset. Don't have a mindset of a person that is coming there as a second citizen, even though they say you're a second citizen, but you are coming there to help the economy. That will really help you in your mindset, in the way you approach things. So to me, we have different history of immigration of the Irish immigration during maybe 1847 to the America because of the economic challenge due to a kind of potato farming that they have in those days. And most of the people that ended up as an Irish immigrant in the United States, they are doing great. Right now in America, they are contributing massively to the economy. So the first thing I will tell anyone that have the mind of relocating abroad is, first of all, you need to work on your mindset. Your mindset is a big factor to you being able to survive abroad. And what the mindset will do for you is going to be very amazing in the terms of your mindset will determine what gets done to you and what you are able to put yourself through. And with the mindset I'm talking about here is the mindset of an ambassador. There is a mindset of an ambassador. There is a mindset of an immigrant. A mindset of an ambassador means you are coming to a country to represent your country. If you have that mindset, I think it will help you a lot in terms of what you are putting in as maybe as a professional or as somebody that that's starting a business in a country, because you see yourself as having a responsibility to represent not just yourself but to represent your country, and that helps a lot in terms of the quality of the things and effort you are putting in anything you're doing. Your potential to excel, the amount of effort you're putting in to excel as a person or as an immigrant abroad. So the first thing I will talk about is have a mindset of an ambassador. You are representing your country. You are representing your family. You are representing the people of your color. And having that at the back of your mind is a big factor to what, the effort you are putting in, as an immigrant abroad. So that will limit you from, getting into a lot of things that will actually timing the image of where you're coming from. There's a Yoruba adage that says, run to your humanity one shade. That is, where you are coming from. You should know where you are coming from. If you know where you are coming from, what you are, coming to do in that particular country, we actually have a different perspective. And that's the way I, over time with myself, that is the way I've been able to survive. I will give you an example. Recently, I was working on a project with Royal Canadian Navy in Canada here. Just to give you a brief history about myself. So I came into the UK 13 years ago as a student. Then after my master's, I went into a professional job after a period of maybe 18 months of looking for a job doing like 2 power job. I was able to get myself into the professional career. And I spent roughly almost 11 years in the UK. Then I relocated to Canada recently. That was just almost 18 months ago. So I was working on this project. I'm just trying to bring the perspective of being an ambassador of your country and how that really helps you in terms of the effort you are putting into excel in a foreign country. And on this project, I'm the only person that is actually Black on the project. And also I'm from Nigeria. And I noticed one thing about anytime we go to meet the client, the NAVER client, and my engineering boss will always be introducing us as being a very multinational, team. And every time you mention my name, we have different people. We have this from this part of the country. We have this from Australia. We have this person from Australia. And we have Alexander as well from Nigeria. Even though I have a British passport, but he always introducing me as a Nigerian because I always introduce myself as a Nigerian. You are a Nigerian person. You are just carrying a passport of another nation. If you have that at the back of your mind, and if you have with the mindset of an ambassador, you will always excel anywhere you go. And to prevent you from, dreaming less of what you should be dreaming as a person. So a mindset of an ambassador helps you to excel in a foreign land. And there's also a mindset of an immigrant. And this mindset of an immigrant is just a mindset that gives you a gratitude to actually gauge where you are coming from and where you are right now. And that helps me a lot. And I will tell you how that helps me. Anytime, and this is the period between, me finishing my master's and trying to look for a job. And every time I have a rejection letter from all these companies, after a lot of effort and all that, there's a mindset that actually keeps me home. That's the mindset of, an immigrant. And the mindset of an immigrant is the mindset of a gratitude. I know where I'm coming from. I know the facilities I was exposed to as to where I am right now. The opportunities I've been able to maximize, even though they are not showing up right now, but I know how far I've gone, as an immigrant. So a mindset of an immigrant puts you in a place of being, grateful for the journey so far. Because one thing is if you cannot assess how far you've gone because you are unable to get to the mark point which you've set for yourself, it will deter you from moving forward. So the mindset of an immigrant, which gives me the mindset to be grateful for my journey so far, actually helps me at the end of the day to keep moving, even in the face of opposition, rejection, and how to manage those rejection. This is one thing that Mrs. Toluwani talks about. You need to know how to handle your rejection. Handling your rejection is one of the most important things when you are in the foreign land. And I think as a Nigerian, we handle it very well because I don't know, maybe because of where we are coming from. We are very, very resilient people. Apart from being a smart people, we are very, very resilient, which speaks a lot about why most Nigerians are succeeding everywhere abroad, in the UK, in the US, and other places. Another thing that is very important for you to actually excel as an immigrant, or the practical reality of an immigrant, is also setting the vision. And I know previous speakers, they've talked so much about setting vision here. Your vision is what will keep you on track. And that was why I was, when other speakers were speaking, I was saying that it's more like they are reading my mind, and most of the things which I want to say, they've talked about it. So I'm just stopping most of the things they've said. I'm just stopping it. You need a vision. You need to sell the vision. The vision is filled with your why. And when you know your why, your how will be easy. When you know your why, your how will be easy. Some of your why could be you want to come abroad to, to get, your foreign certificate so that you can go back to Nigeria and contribute to the, to the rest of the country. Some of your why might be, you want to relocate your family so that you can get, a more better, life abroad. Some of your why might just be you just want to, you want to relocate abroad. You just want to build your professional career on a global, perspective, which is one of my own goals as a person. So I don't want to work in a bank. I want to study. I want to really work with the engineering degree, which I've acquired back in Nigeria and also in the UK. And I want to do that to a level where I will be globally recognized, which I have done right now. But it wasn't an easy thing without me, trying to set a plan for myself. And it is those visions that you set for yourself that you keep you on track when you hit the wall, sometimes in the journey of achieving whatever you set for yourself. So the reason why that vision is essential is because, somebody was saying, I was reading sometimes ago, and somebody was saying that if you don't set your mission, if you don't set your vision, your mission will be in a mess. Because what makes your mission to be streamlined is based on the vision you've set for yourself. So it's very, very essential as a person. If you want to excel abroad, you need to set your vision, and all your vision should have what I call the why. Your vision should be made up of the why. Some people come abroad also to improve their political profile. We've seen a lot of Nigerians right now in Abata. The Minister for Justice in Abata is a Nigerian. Is a Nigerian. It's Ekenichukwu. That's the Minister for Justice. So all the myths that we do have back home, that there's a ceiling to what you can achieve, those, yes, we have those biases, we have those, those news about, ceiling being set. But I tell you right now, because of, the awareness of ethnic minority, inclusion in most of the establishment abroad right now, it has given us a better opportunity. Mrs. Toluwani talked about this. Ethnic minority inclusion is the big thing right now, and it is the right time for us to take those opportunities. So clear all the biases, clear all the everything about racism, and just focus on that goal which you set for yourself. And that is the purpose of the mission. It has to be filled with your why. And one of the examples I also give as a person, also, this is during my challenges when I was actually looking for a job as well too, because I have a goal to hit a professional career of a global level. Even though then I was working 2 or 3 jobs, in between those of my jobs, I was able also to be doing an average of 20 to 30 application jobs every day. And I did this for close to 1 year before I had my breakthrough. So the thing is this, it is a job to look for a job. I used to tell people that it is a job to look for a job. If you're looking for a job abroad, you have to take your time. You have to set a time aside. You have to take it as a job. And one thing about these things, about also when you are waiting for a job, this is very important. I have to say this. When you're looking for a job, when you are, trying to get into a professional career, and at that point in time, you're still doing some different jobs, take opportunity of that job very serious. And I'll give you an example. I used to clean in the morning, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. That was the job I was doing when I was, when I was a student. Now I was still looking for a job. And in the night, I go to club to work. And I tell you, most of my link, when I finally got into oil and gas industries, are mostly most of the people which I've met before in the club. I can remember there was a conversation I was having with a guy who used to be a manager in one of these oil servicing companies, and we're discussing a lot of things that has to do with my profession. And the guy saw the way I was talking about and passionate about my profession. he actually, tell me, he gave me his email. I sent the CV to the guy. He actually presented the CV to the hiring manager. I was called for the job, even though I didn't get the job, but that job was one of the things that helped me later in terms of the experience which I have, the opportunity which I was given as well. So even though you are not getting the right job, Mrs. Toluwani talked about it, no job is useless. Try to get all the experience from even the job that is not your dream job, because the lesson that you learn there will actually help you when you get your dream job. Is very, very important. Another point is you need a mentor. And the purpose of a mentor, like Reverend Sam Adeyemi said, is that is a mentoring will deliver you from mistake and ignorance. And this is very, very essential. And one of the things that mentoring, excuse me, has done, for me personally, is the fact that it has speed up my career. So I was lucky at the early stage of my career to meet a friend that works in oil and gas. So what I do most of the time is to set up the time with this guy, every twice in a week to have a discussion. And the advantage of that is that even before I get into the industry, I was able to make myself familiar with what they do in the industry. And when I got into the industry, it was an easy piece for me. So I'll give you an example. When I first had my breakthrough into the oil and gas industry, working there, to every other person, they say, oh, they gave you an entry level. But sometimes an entry level is not you starting all over again if you have done your own work very well. Because my period of waiting, I've done so many, I've done a lot of reading, I've done a lot of chat with my mentor. I've been taking through a lot of things that they do in the industry, even before I get the job. When I got on the job, I only spent 6 months as an entry level person. And after 6 months, I was able to move to a job that is almost 50% more than what I was earning before. And 6 months after, I went into contracting, which is almost 3 times of the salary I used to collect 18 months ago. So the job you are, the work you are putting in, even before you hit your professional job, is very, very essential. And this was made very perfectly aligned with what I want to do because I have a mentor. So my mentor will tell me, don't do this certification, it's just a waste of time. Because based on experience, this is what you need to do. So I still go back to that statement by Reverend Sam Adeyemi. Your mentor will deliver you from mistake and ignorance. And it will still speed up your career career progression as well too. So that is the essence of a mentor. You need a mentor, you need a vision, you need to change your mindset. That is 3 things, which I've mentioned here, which is just, pressing the point of what other people have said before. Another thing is networking. Networking can be anywhere. It can be social gathering. It can be, so a workplace. Another thing I also do as a practical experience in my professional career is that anywhere I've ever worked, I still have a sort of connections with them. I remember I was leaving my first job to move to another job. And the guy that interviewed me happens to be a Nigerian. And even in the interview, the guy told me, I will give you this job, but you are coming here to replace me because they cannot pay me as a contractor. So you are coming in to work for them as the permanent staff. But I need a job, when I leave here. Do you have any link? I said, okay, give me your CV. I gave the CV to my former manager. And 6 months later, this guy got a job. And the job was so fantastic. That was one of the highest jobs he has gotten before. So I was networking even though I was being interviewed by a person. And through that, he was able to get a job through me. He got a job, he was being paid, he was taken as a contractor. He was being paid £75 an hour. I was talking 2014. He was being paid £75 an hour, and he worked there for almost 2 years before he now went to Aramco. So networking is very essential, and you can do that networking anywhere you go. Always take that opportunity of networking anywhere you go. I told you, when I was working in a bar, I was networking with people working in oil and gas. They always come around, they always talk about their job. I always ask them questions, I always learn. And those things are the things that helped me when I finally got on the job. There are a lot of things they talk about. They would just talk about something, when we're chatting in the club, and I will go back to the internet, to the YouTube. I will research about those things. I will talk so much about, I will learn so much about those things. When I get to interview, I will talk about those things, but, what you've not done before, a smart person will always get you. Like, most of the interview, they'll say, some of the time they say, we like your passion, but it seems like you don't have enough experience, so you are doing well. They will tell me, you have a very, very serious passion. And the first job which I got, I'll also tell you this is a personal experience. The first job which I got, 6 months down the line, my manager called me. I gave you that job not because you are really, really qualified, because you have a passion and because I see that you are really hungry for it. There's one thing to be hungry, there's one thing to be eager. When you are eager, you only create an event. When you are hungry, you will make an impact.
Yes, true.
And that hunger is what, and even when I started doing the job, I was having more job given to me than every other person by my manager. And one thing he told me is this: he said, until I make you uncomfortable about a job, you can never learn. So most of my, my progress has always been, the fact that I put in more effort. And all these, I will still tie it back to my mentor. My mentor was a great impact on me. And that's why I like mentoring other people, because I know what that has done me. The other thing is information. I find a lot of people, when they relocate, to countries like the UK and Canada, people know so much about the country they are coming from. They listen so much to the news in Nigeria, that the news of what is happening in the country where they are living. And sometimes you ask yourself, so why are you here? Some people don't even know what is going on. They've been living in the UK for the past 6-7 years. They don't know half of the things that are happening in the UK, but know so much about issues that are happening in Nigeria. I'm not saying you should not listen to Nigerian issue, but you should live where you are. You should have the information of what is going on where you are, if you really want to excel in that company. And one thing I've learned also as a person of faith, don't talk bad about the place you are living. If you are living in Nigeria and somebody is abroad and is calling you and saying Nigeria is bad, don't accept it, because you are still in Nigeria. You don't let people tell you bad thing about Nigeria because you are still living in Nigeria. So if I'm here abroad and somebody is telling me something contrary to what I want abroad, I will reject it. So one thing I always tell people is that if you relocated from your country to another country, you need to have the information about what is going on in the country. Political information is very essential. Social information is very essential. Professional information is very essential. So don't start be talking about Niger Delta when you are in the UK. It doesn't help you. I will give you a practical example. Somebody used to stay with me before here, and I noticed my friend always listening to Nigerian news. I told him, I need to stop listening to Nigerian news. I will introduce you to a guy that works almost the same profession as you, but in a very more broad scope. And after 2 months of introducing to this guy, to a friend of my friend, he was able to get a job. So the job he used to do, they used to pay him like 50 grand. He was able to get a job where they are paying almost 70, Canadian dollars an hour. So these are the practical example of what has happened to me. There's some things you need to know when you move to a foreign country. So I have a lot to talk about here, but just to top it up, at the end of the day, just to top it up, one of the major things which every other person I've talked about here is our faith, our belief is very, very also essential. It's very, very, very essential. Our belief, our faith is one of the essential things that keeps that keeps us going, even when we face a lot of opposition as well. So I say, but this is just my viewpoint. So yeah,
Thank you so much.
I'll stop here, and I will entertain any question that will come from the audience.
Wow, please join me celebrate Mr. Alexander. That was beautiful. Thank you for going so practical and telling us how it really is. Really, thank you for being vulnerable with us, sharing job experiences and all of that with us. I'm sure that will also help us prepare for what is ahead. Guys, please help me celebrate Mr. Alexander and all the speakers that have that have shared on the platform tonight. They've done an amazing, amazing work. Before we go into the question and answer session, which we already have a couple of questions, please keep putting your questions in the chat room. Yes, very practical lessons. I'm hearing all of that. Very practical lessons. Some people are saying, don't speak bad of where you are. Yes, he said, live where you are living, live. Be alive, know what is happening, know what's going on where you are living. Don't keep your eyes on the abroad when you are still in Nigeria. I'm talking bad of Nigeria. Okay, yes, thank you so much. And finally, before we go on to the question and answer session, which is just in a few minutes, I want to take Mrs. Peju from the UK. Please, guys, help me welcome Mrs. Peju. She'll be sharing a few words with us before we go into the question and answer session. Sorry, we've taken so much time already, but we know that you're getting value, and that's why you're still here. So permit us tonight, it is not our usual behavior, but allow us tonight. We have so many speakers with so many amazing things to share tonight. So please permit me welcome Mrs. Peju. I don't know if she's here. Ms. Peju from UK, Peju Durojaye. I know I saw her in the room earlier. Oh yes, Ms. Peju, you're welcome. Oh, your mic is on mute.
Hello everyone.
Hello, Ma. Good evening, Ma. So good to have you.
I've really learned a lot, and I'm not going to bore you again with a lot of information. I'm just going to go straight with a practical experience, my own experience, my journey. I relocated to UK 18 years ago to study, and I had my master's in personal mobile and satellite communication. And I'm just going to go straight to the point. Aside having qualification, which I believe a lot of us Nigerians do, after finishing my master's, I had about 10 professional qualifications to add to it. I believe an average Nigerian can read, and we are very good at that. But still, with all those qualifications, I was stuck in my profession for years without progress. And one thing that my first manager told me, my first job, when my first one-to-one, my first manager said to me that I am too assertive. And I'm like, what do you mean? Assertive? I didn't take it serious. I just said, Oyinbo people, they don't like us, it's being biased, it's this and that. I didn't last in that job. I changed my job, I moved to another job. And funny enough, my first email at that organization, they pulled me over to a meeting and said the tone of my email was too much. And they sent me for a training. Like, the email was just about 4 or 5 lines. What is the tone of the email? What have I said wrong? And my manager said to me that there's nothing that is wrong in that email. It's just that your level, if that email has come from a senior manager, it will have not been taken too serious. But as just an analyst, the person couldn't take it. You can't believe it. The person I sent the email to has to come down from his office to come and look at me. I'm like, oh, this black lady is the one talking to me like that. And I was sent on a training. And I'm like, what is going on? I can't really get sense in what they are talking about. And, if you go for an interview, most of us will have all this qualification. More than what you've got to say is just 20% of your technical knowledge. Is how you actually present it. Is your body language. How you can, some managers can even hire somebody that doesn't have any qualification, that is ready to learn, that is willing to be teachable. But I realized that everything they are saying to me, I did not actually understand it. I was just picking that they're picking on me because I was black, because I was this, because I was that. I keep adding to my qualifications. I keep adding to my qualification, keep learning, but I wasn't getting far. I was in a job for over 5 years before it dawned on me that these people are not being racist. What is it that I'm doing wrong? I now sat back, studied myself, I stopped picking on them. I look at it, what is it that I wasn't doing right? I realized then that because I entered at an entry level, I was looking at the person that was managing me. He doesn't have my qualification. So when he's giving order, I'm not ready to listen. When he sends emails out, I'm looking at the bullet point, like, look at the person managing me. I'm better off than her. But she's the manager. After I had all this qualification and I wasn't progressing, and I went to look at it at what am I really getting wrong? I realized that although I have all these qualifications, but am I a good team player? What are the soft skills that you need to get to add to your qualification? And to actually maximize your potential in abroad, more than all these qualifications, you need soft skills. Are you a good team player? Can you actually work in a team? Can they give you instruction? Are you teachable? I said to a friend of mine of recent that anybody can be employable as long as you're teachable. Forget about all this qualification. It's good, brilliant. It gets you to the door. But will that qualification sustain you in the job? The qualification will bring you to the door, especially if you're an engineer or an IT person. You either know your job or you don't know it. No manager has ever fought my job. One of my managers said to me, I would have fired you long time ago, but because I can't fault your job. But your social skill is zero. When they are going for a cup of tea, I don't follow them. When they are going out for outing, like they smoke, they are not Christian, they are not this, they are not that. Fine, you are Christian, but you are stuck. You have all this qualification and you're still at entry level. Okay, let's move further. How did I change it? I stopped looking beyond them being biased. I stopped looking beyond them being racist. I focused on me. I look inward. That what am I doing wrong? Why am I not getting this connection? Why? There are other blacks in the industry. There are other blacks doing well. Why are you not progressing? You're not the only black. We might have few blacks in the organization, but at least we have one. You have one director that is a black person. How do they get there? Why can't it be me? Then I try to put aside adding qualification to myself. I look into learning soft skills. I was so aggressive to ensure that anything that will be a barrier to my progress, I want to get rid of it. I start becoming teachable. I start looking beyond people being biased towards me. I really want to see what I was doing wrong. And one of the things that I was doing wrong is I sometimes look down on people that don't have qualifications. They might not have qualifications, but they have experience that you can learn from. And those experiences, especially if you're a technical person, is key. With all your qualification, you might not be able to do certain things that you have to learn from these people that you think that doesn't have qualification that you owed. So I stopped. I bought a book, Stop, No More Excuse. And I took that book as a Bible. I learned from it and I started reading, not getting qualification. There's a difference between getting qualification to load your CV to soft skills. I started looking at things that are soft skills, like building, being a good team player, how to relate with other people. Let's say you are in a project and the project is coming to an end. Why is it that it is you that they will first terminate your appointment? Trust me, most of the time it's not because you are black. It's because you are not connected to the team. So any excuse to get rid of you, you'll be the number one to go. So I will want to say that in all getting, if you are going to live abroad, get your attitude right. Get the attitude right. And majority of us are Nigerians. Sometimes the way we talk, the other people might perceive us as being aggressive. Let us tone it down. You don't have to actually raise your voice to pass your message across. One of my manager that want to really be realistic with me said to me that, Ade, they are just trying to cover it up that you are assertive. It's not actually that you are assertive or confident. You are forceful. And me, I think I'm just a go-getter. I just want to get it. I just want to get it. I don't take no for an answer. I can't accept rejection. I can't deal with no. No, I don't do failure. I just have to get it. Yes, you don't want to deal with failure. It's good. Nobody wants to fail. But you don't have to become forceful to the extent that other people can read it over you. You don't have to pass your message in a team to the extent that other people cannot actually work with you. And I want to tell you that after I actually worked on myself, stop picking on other people, I got the promotion in such a way that it looked as if it was a miracle. It was a miracle. I did pray, I did do certain things, but I also tried to see myself, see what I was doing wrong, and I was able to move in a speed of light that, oh, whoa, is this possible? And I started taking feedback seriously. And I think one of the other things that we don't know how to handle as Black people, we don't really know how to handle feedback. It's not all the time that when someone is giving you feedback, that they actually hate you, or don't take it personal.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Let's be able to handle feedback and see it as a positive thing. One of my friends said to me that every feedback is a good feedback. And you always learn better from the negative feedback. And I would like to round it up by saying that if you are not willing to work hard and be humble, please don't come and live abroad. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. I've seen a lot of people now because of Brexit. Because of Brexit, we are having a lot of young people that are relocating to study abroad. I don't have too many Black people around me, but the ones that I've actually come across, their attitude is not, I don't see it working. Although over here in UK, we call each other by each other's name, but that doesn't still mean we don't value respect. And people still value.
Thank you.
And lastly, I want to say that a lot of people have the qualification that you think you have. Some people are even overqualified. What you are chasing, a lot of people are chasing it. What makes you stand out? What actually makes you stand out from other people? And that thing that makes you stand out aside qualification is what will get you what you're looking for.
Yes, true.
Thanks for having me.
Very true, Ma. Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Akwuogu is clapping for you. Mr. Toluwani is clapping for you in the chat. Thank you so much for those beautiful additions. She said, if you are not ready to work and be humble, don't come. Just hold your Nigeria and be there. That's what before that she said something that really fits. She said getting the attitude right and be willing to take feedback. That's true. Be willing to take feedback. That's really, really, really very strong. Thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate you. So right away, moving on, we're going straight into the question and answer session. Guys, I have 2 questions from the chat room. Okay, and I would just like to go into it. Yes, all our speakers are around. Ogaji, I hope you're here, sir. Okay, so I will start from Prof. You've shared so much experiences. You've told us about your travel experiences, the different experiences you've garnered all through your sojourn, both in the UK and out. I just want to ask, what's your opinion about online degrees? Because I know you said face-to-face is good, but at the same time, not everybody will be able to do all the face-to-face. I remember personally, I was looking at the Commonwealth application, the online for the online schooling recently. And in the midst, I was saying that, would I be able to handle the distraction of trying to study here and all of that? But I just want to know your opinion about it, because I'm sure a couple of other people are also considering having online education in place of traveling over there, mostly because of the finances sometimes, and also because of conditions of living over there. So I just wanted to speak to that side. You are here. Okay, Prof, are you here?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bumi. Thank you for that. Online is not a bad option, really. It's a cheaper option than the face-to-face, sitting in front of your class and engaging with others. And I think online has come a long way, especially with the distant learning models that different universities have created and adopted. I mean, some are really doing it well, such that you still have the opportunity of engaging with colleagues, having tutorial lessons, tutorial sessions, and having time together to discuss through all this WhatsApp and other means and Zoom and other things. So you can still achieve the goal. But if you show me somebody who did all his program online, I will frown a bit. Online can come in from time to time, but that should not be the main form of acquiring degrees. Maybe people will do first degree online, second degree online, master, PhD online, everything online. That person will go online. So it's not that straightforward. It's not that easy. But online can be done. You can do an MBA online. You can do a second degree online, but there are some foundational things that you cannot actually do online, especially some technical subjects. You can never do that online. Engineering, for instance, computer engineering, maybe you can do online, but real core electrical, mechanical, I don't think you can really do it online, because you need to go to some lab, you need to do some experiments and all that. And that is not that straightforward. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Mrs. Akwuogu, I would also like you to speak to that. As someone running a program in that area, I would like to hear what you have to share in that area. Thank you so much, Prof. Ogaji. We appreciate that contribution.
Yeah, I personally, online education is not for me, because I like my personality. I like engagement, so I like that. I get, how do I say? I found out that to learn, like I'm an audio-visual learner. So when I am online, purely online, it's more of audio. So I'm not taking in anything about the environment. I'm not taking in anything about the energy in the room. I can't really evaluate whether, if I'm not getting something in the room, but I see others nodding in the class, that means, okay, I can ask somebody else in class if there's no time for questions, things like that. That's how I learn. So online is going to cut off all that entire experience for me. So personally, I'm not a fan, but I do know that there are people, because of the circumstances, there are people that cannot do on-campus classes through and through. And I do have experiences. I have friends who have done, I know someone who has done a master's in public health at Harvard University, and it was a blended program. She did this over 2 years because she had a job in Nigeria. She had a family in Nigeria. She was still having children in that period, so it wasn't possible for her to travel and stay away for that long. So she was doing, I think, 2 weeks in school. So she would travel to the US, do a period of 2 to 3 weeks, because that classroom experience was compulsory. Yes. And then when you go back home, you can do your term papers, you can do, all the other work that requires just writing and submissions and things like that. But for the teaching part, they had to be in class. So I would much rather a blended program than a fully online program, as much as possible, because for me, that's 80% of the experience, if not 90%, of getting an education abroad.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for speaking to that for us. I saw your hands up. I don't know if you want to ask a question That's why your hand, that's why you raised your hands. Opeyemi, are you here? If you can hear me, you can unmute and then ask your question. Opeyemi, are you still here? Okay, while I wait to hear from Opeyemi, I want to take, okay, yes, okay. Opeyemi, you can unmute. Okay, you can unmute. I'm asking you to unmute so that you can ask your question. We still can't hear you. Your audio is off and I can't hear you.
Sorry, it's a mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't have any question. Sorry.
Okay. All right. That's totally fine. Thank you. Okay. So there was a question in the chat and it says, this goes to the scholarship expert. This is for you, Mr. Akwuogu. It says, at the age of 45, what master scholarship opportunities should one look out for? That is from R.E.A.D. Is asking that at the age of, he's not saying he's 45, he's saying at the age of 45, one that is 45, what kind of opportunities should you be looking out for? What are your chances?
Okay, so thankfully, this whole focus on age is just for here. Everywhere else, what they focus on is, can you do it? Can you do what it is that we're about to do here? Regardless of your age, your nationality, your gender, all those things don't matter, right? So yes, you can apply for and get scholarships at 45 and above, right? You have people getting their first degrees at 65, 70. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter over there. The only thing is knowing my people, my wonderful people, and knowing the country and culture that we have. This thing that Ms. Peju said, I have to like take a breath in because it's a big deal, right? You cannot go with the mindset of, I am 45, I have earned my right to walk into a room and be greeted and accorded a particular level of respect. That one is for here. When you apply and you're going to school abroad, you need to reset, a total reset. Because number one, your professors might likely be younger than you, and you would have to submit your assignments to them. You have to sit down and learn and be teachable and know that these people are much younger than you, and let it not bother you. If you cannot do that, it is not for you, because you will have problems, right? So it's not going to be a problem from the school if you are 45 and above. Absolutely not. In fact, it's even a protection by law that they are not supposed to give positions in universities and all of that based on age. The only thing is there are some scholarships that might have age restrictions, because let's say their funding agencies are focused on a particular age group. So for instance, you can't be applying for a scholarship for the maybe youth scholarship, because those brackets are usually between maybe 25 and 35 or 25 and 40. So aside those scholarships that have age ranges, you have scholarships that are funded by the university. You have scholarships that are funded by the department. You have scholarships that are funded by the particular professor doing that research work. All of those do not have age barriers. So if the age barrier is not specified in the eligibility criteria, then you're eligible to apply. As long as it's not specified, you are eligible to apply. So please go ahead. But you need to,
thank you.
You need to fix the attitude.
Mindset.
You need to honor your knowledge wells. Even if it's a 5-year-old that comes to the class and takes you at that time, he's your teacher, he is your professor, whatever it is. Kill that mentality of it is by age that we assign wisdom and we assign merits. No, that is not it. It will not work for you. It will not serve you outside the country.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma. You know, I want to dive into what Mr. Alex said. He said, have the kind of mindset. You know, when Miss Keju was talking in my mind, I was like, mindset. As a, you know, we always feel like people want to pick on us, especially when you go there, it's like, racial difference, anything, it's because of this. Because of this, she said, kill that mindset. We have to kill that mindset. Have the right mindset, the right attitude. It's really very, very, very important. Okay, so I have another question here now for Mrs. Toluwani. So many questions, but more are coming in. We're also asking our Facebook community. If you have questions, please put it in the chat. We'll also take that. So Mrs. Toluwani, this question is for you. I'm going to put you on the spotlight. Okay, yes. As someone that's lived in the abroad, in the abroad for 21 years, like you said, what was your biggest challenge? Like moving from here, I don't know if you went with family or you went alone or it was school, but what was your biggest challenge and how did you deal with it? I know you mentioned dealing with rejection, how to handle it, but I just wanted to speak a bit more to that. Like, what were the challenges you faced just getting there as a new person? How did you deal? How did you handle it? You have to apply for jobs. Maybe you said you had to sell newspapers and all of that. How did you cope?
Wow. I think that the biggest challenge for me was the fact that I couldn't, or rather one of the biggest challenge was the fact that I couldn't deal with the fact that all my studying, my qualification, my brilliance wasn't recognized. You know, it was as if, because I had my children with me. So there was no support. There was nothing around me. There was no one around me I didn't even know my husband was there. He had to work. There was no one around me to actually say, okay, these are my children, you know, like your mother, your sister, and all of those people around you. There was no one. So it was hard to deal with the fact that there was no way that I could showcase what I had. That, you know, not that the opportunity wasn't even given me, but I couldn't even take the opportunities because I had my little ones with me. I think that was the biggest challenge that I had to deal with. So very quickly, I learned to just do those online courses. At that time, it wasn't online courses, it was a distance learning courses. So I had to keeping my my brain alive, I suppose, with doing courses and then trying to do those small businesses like dropping papers and all of those things that allowed me to connect with people in the community. Then another thing that I did was to join a choir. You know, I just got involved in the community, and that was the biggest way I could deal with it at that time. So I think that was my biggest challenge. That was my biggest challenge. It was strange. It was a different country, and the fact also that the support that I thought I would get from the people that had come before was not existent.
Was not there.
So nobody was willing to. And that is why, for me, the work I do now with immigrant women is very important to me because of that forerunner dimension. Nobody told you anything. Nobody told you, don't do this one. Nobody, there was just nobody to tell you. And so you basically had to make those mistakes, find out on your own, do this one and don't do this one. So that's another challenge. There was nobody to show you how to navigate this new terrain. And the way it works is that if you don't know something and there's nobody to tell you, nobody's going to tell you this is what you should know.
True. So how did you handle it, Ma? Just in 1 minute. Have I not answered the question?
So how did I handle it? I handled it by making mistakes and learning very quickly. Yes,
learning
very quickly. So making and also now not staying only with my community. So that was why the choir was there. The choir was it was a community choir. So it wasn't Black people choir. It was a community choir. So by engaging with them and listening to them, learning from them, and letting them signpost me to the right places, I was quickly, but of course,
networking.
Exactly. So networking, exactly.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
And growing my social capital.
Thank you so much. So Yes, so that's key. Those things are key. Okay, we're taking note of these things. I have a question. Before I go to the next question, sorry, we're rounding up already. Please, we'll be dropping a link on the chat room to get feedback from you about the webinar. Please, guys, please, everyone, please help us fill this so that we can do better for you. We're a community that loves feedback, so we really want to get your feedback so that we can do better.
Before I step away, may I say,
okay,
when you do go with children, very quickly locate people within your community that you can trust with your children if you want to quickly navigate some challenges. Okay, so it's important because when you go with your children, it's not like Nigeria, you leave your children with somebody, I'm coming quickly. Or you can leave your children at home and lock the door, I'm coming. Don't talk, don't open the door. It's not like that. So it's very important to quickly find those people within your community that can be a support for you, a support system for you.
Support systems, yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Ma, for adding that. Thank you so much. That's really important because there is not like here where you can say, hey, please just help me. Everybody on your own, DIY a lot on the go. So there's a question from Facebook here, and I would really want to take that quickly. It says, what is the minimum qualification to relocate, and what are the things we need to put in place? What is the minimum qualification to relocate? I would want Mr. Alexander also to speak to that. At least you had to do relocation. What is the minimum? So maybe we could just take quick. We're running. I wish everybody could
so there's no standard minimum qualification. It depends on which route you want to come up with. Recently in the UK, they were even taking people for earthwork care assistance, and you don't even need to have maybe a university degree. You just need to have maybe a minimum training. So it all depends on the route you want to come in with. So there's some qualifications that are required if you want to come as an economic immigrant in Canada. So you need to have masters. It gives you more points. You need to be younger. So it depends on the particular route you want to come up with. So there's no so you need to go and do the research. And somebody said it's I don't know if it's Mrs. Akwuogu, we are very, don't let me say we don't do a lot, we don't spend a lot of time to do research, which is one of the biggest things. So we try to give it to an agent to do it for. You can do most of those things. I've never given an agent any kobo since I've been doing immigration stuff. And I've been doing everything myself. They are always online. So it depends on which route you want to come. If you want to come as a student, it's a different qualification you require. If you want to come in as a business person, it depends on, it's a different qualification. So there is no, if you want to come as an artisan, or you want to come as a technical person or a trade person, is a lower qualification. So it all depends on what you want to come. But one thing is this: whichever qualification you have, there is a place for you abroad. It's only that you've not gotten the right information. Yeah.
Okay, so do the research. Mr. Akwuogu said it. Do the research. Mr. Akwuogu said it. Mr. Alexander is repeating it. Do the research. You must be willing to put in the work. What do you want? They said it. What do you want? Exactly. So it depends on what you want, which charts the cost of how you would go and what you need to do. So do the research. It's not like you can't seek help. We have people like Ms. Akwuogu that does a specialty. I know she has a Telegram group. She has a group where that happens. And at this point, so that we don't forget, I want us to drop, please, we want to beg our speakers to please drop your handles in the chat room so that we can easily contact you, we can follow you and see what you are doing online. So our speakers will be dropping their handles in the chat room. Please do well to take it down, follow them. They're doing a lot in this area, and it's another way to have access to them. I wish we could take more questions tonight, but our time is fast spent tonight. Please take down their handles. I'm sure you can have access to them. You can reach out to them. Please, can we reach out to you on your handles? Let me not promise something that's not available. Can we reach out to you on your handles, Ma and Sar, Yes, okay, Miss Akwuogu has dropped hers. It's there on the group on Instagram. She said on Instagram. And yes, you can reach out. Miss Toluwani has done the same. Mr. Alexander gets his, and that of Professor Gaji. So you can reach out to them for more experience, for more knowledge. These people are packed full with wisdom. You've seen how they've given it to us tonight, and we just want to celebrate you and say thank you. Final words before we go tonight. I just want to give 1 minute to each of our speakers to give us some final words. One, starting with Mr. Akwuogu, Ms. Toluwani, she's already on the spotlight, so I would just want you to share your final words for us, ma. Final words for everyone on this call. But yes, ma. Those planning to japa, those intending, those wanting to go to school, those wanting to relocate with family. Please just final words for us as we go tonight.
Thank you so much. Final words or final word, whichever one. I just want us to know, I want you to know on this platform that you are enough. And I think it was Alex that said, with God with you, you are more than enough. So don't think that whatever you are intending to achieve is beyond your reach. It is within your reach. And you just have to believe in that destiny that has been placed ahead of you, that has been spoken about you before you were even born. And I really want us to think about that, because one of the key points for me in excelling for me in a foreign land is when I began to discover who I really was. I wish I'd had all this talk before I left Nigeria, but I didn't. So it was like going blindly. So you can imagine. Sorry,
I said we're privileged.
You are, absolutely. It was like I was going blindly, but you have all of this information and these absolutely phenomenal people sharing life experiences and the truth with you. I can definitely tell you it's the truth. So there is no excuse that we have. So I imagine if I had wasted 5 years just trying to navigate a different terrain, so how much more you are blessed to have this information, to have all of these tips. Just run with it and keep moving. Don't let anything get you down. No matter what anybody says, you're altogether enough. Final word.
Thank you so much, Ma. You are enough, guys. You are enough. I am enough. You are enough. Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, Mr. Alexander, you are on the spot. Oh, okay, Mr. Alexander, you still here? Your video is off.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, yes, I can see it. Okay, yes, final word.
So my final word for everyone is that whatever you set your mind to do, you can actually achieve it. And one of the things which I will keep saying is this, there's no, whatever has been done by other people, you can reproduce it. That's one thing that's one of the good things. And that's why we're coming here to talk to people, because everything is possible. You can reproduce it. Our stories look similar, but we have uniqueness in every of the stories. And whatever story we've told you here, whatever journey we've gone through as an individual, based on what the speaker have said, is reproducible. And this is the essence of what this webinar is all about. This is what mentorship is all about. Patterns are repeatable. Bad patterns are repeatable. Bad patterns can be reproduced. Good patterns can be reproduced. They are based on the same principle. So I'm telling everybody here, what we've done, you can do better. If you want to relocate, you can make it happen. We are not superhuman. We are all human, but we are extraordinary people as a Nigerian. That's what I've seen. Nigerians are always, one of the greatest problems we have, maybe Professor Ogaji too, we actually, align with this, is that as an individual, we excel so much abroad. As a community, we are not there yet. And that's where we need to work more.
Strong. That's strong and that's loud. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for those final words. And I'm sure we will run with that. Mrs. Akwuogu, I'll be spotlighting you for your final words.
Okay, wow. Final words. If I put it in a sentence, just always remember you are the value. A friend of mine always says that, and she says it, and it encapsulates everything that I want to tell you today. Everything we've said, everything we've talked about, the major factor is you. You are the one to decide. You are the one to put in the work. You are the one to make those applications. You are the one to figure out, choose your destiny. It's in your hands, between you and God. Forget this thing that we have been talking, we've been brought up in this community where, it seems like you have to take permission from people around you to figure out your destiny. It's a lie, and sometimes what I also say to people is the African perspective is exotic. We are the only ones that have that perspective because we are Africans. Outside of this environment, we are gold. So what we need to work on is not on trying to become more like other people or other cultures, but to be sure in our culture, to be proud of the culture we come from, and find a way to globalize it so that other people can enjoy the gold that we have. But this time, they are not coming to colonize us and rip it out of our hands. We are taking it to them as a service. So you are coming to the table as partners. So as Africans, we can also invent things that can make the world better. As Africans, we can also create knowledge that is scalable. We can also create solutions that are scalable that Europe can use. We have that knowledge. Before now, we have been dumped on. Everything has been dumped on us. But what we're trying to create now, we are trying to create a new generation of ancestors. So these ancestors now will go forward and be the ones producing the knowledge, the ones putting forth the people that are solving the problems of the world. Remember, even if you forget anything we have said today, you are the value. So work on being the most valuable person in the room at any time. If you are in Lagos, if you are in Berlin, if you are in the United States, if you are in Canada, if you are in the US, wherever you are, just work on being the most valuable person in the room. Even if you are not the most valuable person in the room, you will be among the top 10 or 20%, and you cannot go wrong with that.
Wow, is that loud or something else? You are the value, and work on being the most valuable person you can be wherever you are. Thank you so much, Mr. Akwuogu. That was loud, very loud. Thank you, we appreciate you. I'm going on to Professor Ogaji. Professor Ogaji, your final words for the community tonight.
All right, thank you everybody for listening to us today. Just to leave you with this fact, which has been emphasized by everyone here, every of the speaker, Nigerians are resilient. They are very resilient people. Throughout my period in the UK, I have seen situations where Nigerians are the envy of everybody around them. You can start up a cleaning job, doing the same cleaning job with a Nigerian today. The next minute is your boss. He has studied for a master's, he's got his PhD. They are daring. And I think we all have the capacity within us to do that. So the sky is not our limit, really.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. We are resilient. Please, let's ride on that. It's a strength. It's a strength. Thank you so much. And okay, lastly, I want to take Ms. Peju, final words, 1 minute. If you're still here, Ma, you can give us your final words just to wrap up for the night, and then we'll be saying good night in just a jiffy.
Sorry, I've got young children and I'm downstairs with my kids.
Okay.
My final word is just that we should work on the attitude and don't capitalize on people being biased against you. They are being racist. Work more on yourself. Get the attitude right. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing night. I had so much learning points.
Oluwabumi, thank you for excellent facilitation moderation tonight. It's been absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. It's been a pleasure.
And you were so good to keep us in check in the most respectful way.
Thank you so much, Ma. I want to say thank you. Permit me to hand over to my coach, Coach Tumininu Adepoju. Thank you so much for this beautiful webinar you've given to us tonight. It's a blessing. Thank you. I'll be handing over to Coach right away. Coach, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right.
Wow, it's been beyond amazing. It's been beyond amazing. And I start from the last state, Toluwani, my sister said, Bumi, thank you for an amazing session. You know, when we lined up those powerful speakers, and we looked at the timeline. In my head, I'm like, how would we do it? But Bumi, you made it happen. Kudos to you. It's amazing. Thank you, everybody, for making yourself available. As I told the team before now, and that's actually what played out. Yes, we were looking at, or it looked as if the focus was how to travel, how to strive in the abroad, as some of us would like to say. But these are actually real life principles on how you would thrive anywhere you are. I was taking notes and taking notes and taking notes. And one of my key take homes, and for everybody, is we are actually all immigrants. Yes, I'm in Nigeria, but I had to migrate from Ilorin to Abuja, where I'm currently at, as at now. And it's a process, it's a journey. Life itself is a journey, as Akwuogu said. We are not trees. When it gets to the level where you are not getting enough nutrients or anything from where you are, move. And another key thing for me, and that came from Alex, is flourish where you are planted. Flourish where you cannot flourish where you are not planted. And I think that's one major mistake we often make. We are waiting for a better tomorrow, a better place to flourish when you are actually expected to flourish where you are planted. And this one absolutely blew me from Akwuogu. Akwuogu, I'm pasting it in my room. It will take Nigerians to improve Nigeria. And that is what this is all Panadol for your headache. Nobody is doing night vigil on top of your matter. So yes, we are crying. Let Western world come and help us. The best you will get is crumbs. If we really want it to happen for this country, and Akwuogu, you're just super amazing and you know it. We are the new breed of ancestors. We are the ancestors that your children, your children's children will talk about. So what story are you writing for them? It doesn't matter whether you're in Maiduguri or you are in Enugu or you are in Ireland or you are in South Africa or you are in China. It does not matter where you are. You are an ancestor. What will the next generation speak about you? This is from me. If you don't sacrifice for your dream, you've heard what people have gone through to be where they are, and they are still going through those things. If you don't sacrifice for your dream, that dream is going to become a sacrifice. It will just be, it will never happen. So there are things that from this webinar onward, and I'm really happy with every information we've gotten. We've been over 30 on this call, both on the Facebook community and on the Zoom, and we've stayed at it. That means that, you know, we really want to grow. But everything we've heard today is inspirational. What is going to carry you going? It's your determination, your mindset. As Alex said, do you have the mindset of an ambassador? Do you have the mindset of a slave? And that would explain why when some of us relocate to some places, you know, we are ready for the crumbs. We are ready for the peanuts. It's the mindset. If you have the mindset of a slave, even when you enter the palace, you will be a slave in that palace because it's the mindset. So please, and from Toluwani, this is huge. Build your community. It's not about Ireland or London or anywhere. Build your community where you are. And I think this just summarizes it, because if we all build our community, then the world will become a better place. So thank you so much. This is us from R.E.A.D. Our team for this month is gaining global relevance. In the next 2 weeks, we are going to be having another webinar. It is going to be hot. Let me give you a sneak preview. You know, we are talking about global relevance. We'll be breaking some myths. We'll be breaking some mindsets. So we have people that will be coming to talk to us on the possibility of being in Nigeria and having accounts anywhere in the world. You do not have to relocate to open accounts. So let me just drop that tip for you. You know, things that were impossible in other generations, technology has made it possible. You are a global citizen. That's why we can be here. Akwuogu is in Lagos, Toluwani is in Ireland, Alexandra is in Canada, and we're all just like we're in the same room. And you are all wherever you are. So how do we bring the world closer to you. We'll be discussing that in the next 2 weeks, and would all be achieving potential. From me to you, love you very much. Thank you. There's no read without you. Please, can we unmute our mics and tell our wonderful speakers? They did all of this for free. For free, can we unmute our mics and tell them, thank you, good night, and God bless. Unmute your mic and say thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the uncles.
Thank you,
Coach.
Thank you.